back in my day, we didn't need car stereos. Our stereos were sufficient.
What?
Using the vintage cam.
Oh.
I know, right?
So how I look like?
I don't know, it looks like a VHS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like crappy VHS.
Well, my friends, let me tell you a story. 1969.
Oh, Jesus, just stop. Just let it go. Hello, gentlemen.
What's going on?
Let's just shut that off. Yep, nope. Might have to do the whole show in this.
Oh, really?
Remove effect.
Wow.
Remove. There we go.
All right.
Hello, Steve. What is happening? Fancy. I don't know if I'd say fancy. What's up, Fro? Bobby. So today we are working on a Tundra. Yeah. This is a Tundra, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're working on a Tundra. Done tons of Tundras. This one has a JBL premium audio system in it. It's getting a Kenwood Exelon 901.5. It's going to go on the front, bridged to a set of the Maximo Ultra 603 Mark IIs. He's doing a set of Maximo Ultra 602 coaxial Mark IIs in the rear. These guys right here. These are going to be in the rear. And then these are the dash speakers that we've taken out, little 2.5 inch mid-range. These are the tweeters that we took out. And this is the Maximo Ultra tweeter. It's three pieces of 1/4 inch acrylic that we've made a bunch of times that allow us to hit this and get it to sit the same way the factory does. If you'll notice on the factory tweeter, it has all these staggered points. So these 3 pieces of acrylic allow us to do that. These 2 bolts are what hold them together. So that is the tweeter. Fortunately, we've done enough of these, so I didn't have to reinvent the wheel on that. And then this is the speaker for the dash. It gets mounted from underneath, because as you can see, these aren't particularly thick. They're pretty thin. So that and it has this piece that goes over it. So this will mount up from underneath. He'll put a piece of foam on here. This will sit down in the dash. The one thing to keep in mind, the factory is a 3-way. And a lot of the times what happens is in a factory 3-way, just like this tweeter and this mid-range are on one channel. A lot of manufacturers do that to where these 2 count as one channel and this is a second channel. So there's 4 channels up front. What that means for you and I using the passive crossovers is that we need to run a wire somewhere. This is in the door. The tweeter is on the other side here. It's in the sail panel, and this is in the dash, which means this one is the one we're going to be running a wire to because we don't want to have to go through the boot. That's pain. So we'll run wires up to here on both sides down to our amplifier, and then this will integrate because it's JBL, and iData makes the harness for it, which Fernando already has plugged into place. I haven't pulled the amplifier out yet, but it is plugged in. Let me put the screw back in to make my life difficult. So, all right, hang on. He likes making things hard. Hello, Bobby. Someone got a haircut. Yeah, you got them all cut. Isn't that what they say? What happened at Hat Sunday? I forgot. Really, at the end of the day, I forgot. I got busy, and I thought about it this morning. I was like, holy crap, I forgot Hat Sunday. So, and Hat Monday just doesn't sound right. Anyways, here's the factory amplifier. iData makes this nice harness that has everything. If you've ever seen us do this, what we're going to do is we'll pull this out. We'll actually relocate this harness up into here. There's a factory ground point, not that it needs it, but there's a factory ground point underneath here that this is grounded to. So we'll relocate that into there, and then we'll use that because there's a factory ground point there. We'll use this to ground our amplifier, make our mount. 901.5 will go here. Crossovers will mount because there's plenty of room, and we'll do that whole system. For radio, he bought a Alpine. Hello. He bought the Alpine, the new Alpine, 509, which we've already got mounted into the dash bezel. Not the easiest thing to do. I am not. The Alpine mounting structure, it's kind of a pain, but it's doable. It's just not easy. There's a screw here and a screw here, and these screws are used to slide the radio out and in and out when you have to, when you have a bigger dash. In order to get all of this apparatus into here and then keep it tucked up tight, what you have to do is cut the kit to get to this front bolt, and then slide the radio forward, put all the assembly in, put all your screws in, slide it back, put the factory screws back in, and that gets that up here as tight as it can, because the dash rounds like this, so this is going to be where he's going to have it, and then that'll allow you to mount this into place. You also have to do some cutting. The way a metric kit is designed, the single DINs just clip in, which obviously we need something that is going to screw in. So this is actually the double DIN mount that is cut and snaps into place through the side, and then is glued in place just for extra. There's a tongue and groove that snaps in, but I wanted to make sure that it was extra. You know me, always extra, and then glue the pocket in, even though that snaps into place. You can't even get to the pocket, but it's the thought that counts. So we'll set that back on its foam. There's also a clear panel on there that's from the factory. Wiring is all done, obviously using iData, so this is all set. And at some point we'll get that into the car. Fernando's also going to be putting a backup camera in the car, which he's super excited about, right?
Ooh, oh my God, it's a backup camera today.
I know. Hope you all had a good weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I did Bald Head Sunday. Hi, Dean and Fernando. Hey, what's up? You got it, man. Not your first rodeo with the head unit. What's the love bug report for Clearwater? Thinking heavy. Honestly, I'm okay. I drive my car in not love bug time. I drive it in the morning and I drive it at night. There's no lug bugs.
Mr. William. I gotta tell you something about Mr. William.
Tell me something about Mr. William.
Yeah.
What do you got to tell me?
The bass knob. The V1.
You okay?
Yeah.
You want to think about it?
I gotta think about it. I gotta read the message.
Do you want to read the message? You want to read it now?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. You mean after the show?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta let me know, man. I thought you were gonna do it to me now. What vehicle? This is a Tundra. Toyota Tundra.
Toyota.
So one of our faves. Like I said, this will be the amp going in. So good times there. And also I almost forgot. We took the JBL logo off because nobody likes that, and we added in the little Morel logo. So kudos there. Lots of fun. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, and then for subwoofer. Forgot. Don't want to forget the subwoofer.
That's right.
So because this had the JBL system in it, and this is the shorter back door. This isn't the long back door. The longer back door, the seat folds down. There's a subwoofer enclosure back there. For this one, there's actually a factory sub that goes here. You can see the screw points for it. And he really liked that box a lot. This is meaning the amount of space it took up. This is it here. He's not a bass head. He's like, I really like this. I don't want to take up any more room than this takes up. So, thank you. So the Kicker Comp RT 10 box fits perfect. As you can see, it's sitting below the rails. The seat folds down. It's wonderful. That's so we'll get some bass back in there. It is a single sub. That's all I wanted. So Fernando's finishing up this door here. It's got the sound treatment on it. He's finishing up the mount, fast rings, the whole 9 yards. So Monday. Hey, we got a box up front. You want to grab that? You want to do that now? Yeah. You want to save it for later? No. Just do it now? Let's do it now. You got your knife? You're going to lose it.
I'm going to use the other knife because, steak knife is very dangerous.
Yeah? Well, it's sitting right there in your toolbox. You didn't put it away. Okay. Oh, cool, Oscar. Yeah, the new one's nice.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, so what are we having here?
That's, I don't know. We got paper. More paper.
More paper.
Pink foam.
Okay. I love that.
You need help.
Oh, look at this. This is a Sound Shield Rapid. What's a Rapid?
I have no idea.
All right, well, let's take a look.
Oh, wow.
That's foam.
Is it foam?
It is foam.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Very nice. Product specifications: 3mm material, waterproof closed cell, acoustic foam, pressure sensitive adhesive.
Okay.
Very nice.
Wow. Very cool.
Very nice. All right, so
All right.
we have that, right?
All right.
And we have oh, dude,
That looks heavy.
yeah.
So more Sound Shield.
More Sound Shield.
What is that? Is that like
This is
for thin for thin slim?
slim. So this is not the normal, and I'm pretty sure that one is the difference. So I have that one. It's thin.
So this is just like a this is all butyl,
Yeah.
right? With just a
Yeah.
So there's no metal on this.
There's no metal on this.
Okay.
Okay.
So just like standard butyl of some kind.
And then we have the regular one, right?
This has foam.
See, this is what I love.
So then we got foam, we got aluminum, and then we got butyl. Okay.
But I mean, when you touch
Yeah.
it,
Oh yeah.
it's like
Yeah. How does it smell?
it smells good.
It doesn't have a gassy smell to it or anything like that.
Normal, man.
Let me smell this. Yeah. No, there's really no
it's
smell.
not-
Yeah, there's no
You know,
smell.
sometimes stinks like, oh my god.
Yeah. There's really no
So we
smell
got
to
that.
it. Very nice.
Then we have Contour.
Contour. It looks like a box of roses.
Sound sealing speaker strip.
This is what you're excited about.
This is what I'm excited about. Look at that.
All right, so that goes on the back of the door panel.
That goes in the back of the door panel, yeah.
Be nice if they sold sheets of that.
Well, I'm guessing you can use this.
No, I want this though. Man.
Yeah.
I want this. I want lots of that. Okay.
And we have strip.
Is this closed cell phone? Yeah. Ooh.
But you normally have you fast rank, normal. But this one actually, you can cut it as you want it.
Right.
You can do 3.5. You can do a 6.5. You can do a 6x9, whatever you want. It's pretty cool.
What kind of foam is it though? That's the. Does it say? No. I think it's closed cell. It's probably on the back. Everything's on the back. Yeah, there we go.
Product.
Closed cell.
There you go. Close cell phone.
Yeah, there you go. So what everyone always asks. That's. I mean, if we've ever gotten like the biggest complaint we get about like a fast ring is everyone's like, oh, it's open cell, blah blah blah. So.
Premium.
Yep, closed cell.
And then we have.
Thanks, Danny.
And then
Or
we have-
I'm sorry, DKMM.
Perfect. This is for.
There you go. What is
Very
that?
nice.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Well,
I like it.
you know we're gonna put this in, right?
Yes, we know where we're gonna put it.
So all of this stuff is going in with the Sony build and Sue's car.
Yes,
So
this is gonna be.
yeah, so that's all going in with the Sony stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all right. We'll pack it up when we're
Yep.
done. So there you go. If you guys are interested in any of the stuff we just showed, make sure to head over to SoundShield. I'm sure it's soundshield.com. And check their stuff out.
Yeah, right there.
SoundShieldUSA.com. Yeah, check them out. They make some
Facebook,
really cool
Instagram.
stuff. I mean, I don't know if Sue feels that way, but, you know, hey.
What?
She says Sue is a lucky girl. When's that going down? That'll probably be after we get back.
Oh yeah, just
slow it down, Christian. Slow it down.
Wait.
Yeah. Afternoon, guys. Sorry I'm late. Gotta get that install going and gone. Hey, man, I totally understand. We know the feeling. It's not like we gotta get to work too.
I love the package.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's funny because the last one of these you kept that tube for like.
Still have
no,
it.
I think I threw it away.
No.
You kept it still?
Oh, it,
it's an empty tube, bro.
it's an empty tube, but I love it. It's just not.
It's just an empty tube. Let it go.
I'm a sucker. I like it.
Fernando's car is next, right? Fernando's car is always next. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, we have a lot of things to do, man. So.
When using fastering, is it okay for the foam behind the speaker to completely seal the speaker? No.
Completely.
No, so like, if hold on, let me go over here. No, so like here is you need room. You need room. Don't totally seal the back of the speaker because remember, these speakers are they require airspace, but for the most part, I guess you could consider them infinite baffle. In the sense that you need to make the whole idea behind this is to keep the front wave from the back wave, just like you would an infinite baffle driver. But they need to breathe, and if there's not a gap here, then they're not going to get the air that they require. Yes, they will breathe through the foam because, as we said, this is open cell foam, but it may be more than you want it to. So there's always got to be something.
So that's the reason why we cut it. Like if you see, this is the back side.
Right.
So
well, plus you need the window to be able to.
Right.
You know, the window has to come down. But
and then we trim.
You know, if you're interested in closing off the whole speaker, that's what they make those XTC baffles for. And I can tell you right now, those always sound like crap. That's why if you ever do one of those, you just cut them in half and just use it to keep the rain off of the top of the speaker. And that's really about it. And there again, if you'd like to do the same thing with that, where you have it just the top and then cut it on the bottom so that it can breathe down, that's fine too. But just don't totally seal those off.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can throw away the packaging material. I don't think we need that. No.
Pretty cool, man.
It is pretty cool.
I like it.
I'm so excited. And I think I like it. Oh yeah. Do you want to put that stuff back in there?
Yeah.
Is this the new stuff? Like
heavy.
I didn't. Oh, dude, this is super heavy.
I know. Shoot.
Yeah, that's super heavy.
You can kill somebody with this.
I mean, I wouldn't want to, but
Well, you're gonna feel the waves and the bad noise rattles.
resonance? Is that what you were trying to spit out?
Ooh, big word.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Hey, you can kill resonance with this one. There you go.
This stuff is what I find intriguing. You know, like.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like, hey, why would you need this? But then it also seems like, why wouldn't you need this? Like, I feel this is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, you could use this on the back of a door panel
Yeah.
to put around all the little clips.
Yeah.
So that as you're snapping it into place, there's just a piece of foam, you know, an extra piece of foam. If you have, you know, there again, just an adhesive back thin piece of foam. Does that have foam on the top? The Slim is not foam. The Slim is straight, just sound treatment stuff.
Yeah. It's just.
Does that? So that is this is just it. It's super thin. It's just like it's just an adhesive backed product, and that's it. So it's just made, and it's heavy. It's just made to add weight.
Yeah.
This does have adhesive on it. This is foam. This is just straight 1/8 inch foam. So there's a lot you could probably do with this, especially like speaker brackets and stuff like that. So Paul is not a SoundShield dealer. at the moment, he's not. There again, as you guys know, what we do doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what the retail store does. They sent this stuff out to us for us to play with and have some fun with, to report to you guys and let you know if it's something you'd be interested in using. But no, Paul does not sell Sound Shield as of the moment we are talking right now, and I don't know if he ever will. It's not his, that's his decision to make, not mine.
Yep.
But that's for third brake lights too. There again.
Yeah, dude.
Had an amp rescue on a cruise this morning. Walmart 4-gauge wire ran under the car to the trunk and melted to the exhaust. Oh, I love that one.
Really?
Yeah, that's always cool. Ah, that sucks, man. That sucks. So it was sent to Smash Force Productions for an for us to play with. And of course, we will be playing with it because, that's what we do. And we happen to have a car that can use it, so bonus. You good?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I like it.
Alright.
Alright, well, this one is going to be used and...
Always great for before and after pics.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
It's so exciting. Hey, today's Monday, Fernando.
Today's Monday, that's right.
You know what that means?
Oh. What that means is today we're going to have kind of like 2 shows. Not really. Just one show, just plus. We're going to do a Q&A like a normal.
So... Did you see the new artwork that I put up for the show? Okay, so the new artwork is we're calling them a half and half.
Okay.
So it's a half and half show. Meaning half of the show. So if you look at the artwork, half of it is Q&A and half of it is a guest. Mm-hmm. So how we're going to break that up is we're still going to take your Q&A questions for half of the show. Mm-hmm. And how we're going to do it is the first 15 minutes of the show, we'll talk to you guys, answer your questions. And then we'll take a small break and talk to Richard, or a guest at this case. And then once we're done with Richard, we'll thank him for coming on, and we'll go back and we'll answer any questions that you guys have after the fact. Yeah. So that means it's a half and half. We're going to do half question and half guest so we can have some fun.
And for you guys don't know, you haven't watched that, Richard is one of the members for the MEA. Yep. And right now, the Mobile Electronics awards are coming.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that tonight.
Open. We're going to talk about that. So if you're in the industry, you can submit your participation and be one of the guys.
Yeah. Sue drives a Rogue.
Yes.
A Nissan Rogue.
Yeah, I like it. That's going to be nice.
It's got Bose. It's got to go.
Yes.
The factory radio is starting to take a crap, even though it's not that old, which is really kind of depressing. Considering,
it happens.
It's sad.
Yeah,
it's so sad. But the nice thing is now that I
paid a lot of money for that.
Paid a lot of money for it. I think we're still paying a lot of money for that, but it's pretty sad, when yeah. Oh well, 3 years, 36,000 miles. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be bumping, but
what?
Really enjoy the Saturday show. Anytime we can talk to another industry guy doing great stuff, I'm in. And the nice thing is Jason had a really good time.
Yep.
So we're going to get him on again. We'll probably maybe make him once a month, get him on once a month to just do a segment where we can all talk to him. We knew it was the first time having him on. And, you guys are great. So I'd like to say that, when we have a guest on, you guys have figured out that, when unless the guest is there for interaction, you guys are just super cool about letting the guest do his thing. And what was kind of the opposite what we wanted to happen. So next time we have Jason on, we'll make sure we published, hey, big Q&A coming up with Q&A guest answerer.
Yeah. So
that you guys can ask him questions.
Ask your questions to the guest.
Ask your questions to the guest. But yes, in there again, I want to make sure that we make it clearer when we have those guests on. It's like, hey, this one wants you to ask him questions. This one just wants to talk.
Yeah.
But you guys were great. You asked enough questions for his first show so that he had a good time. And I think we got some really good information out of him. And I look forward to having him back on. I hope you guys do too, because he's a really cool dude. And yeah, that was
Jason
fun.
says, when is your car getting a system? Well, the full electric cars are coming at 2025.
2035.
2035, there you go. So around that time, it's probably going to be...
So the first thing that'll go into my car, which we have to do sooner rather than later, will be the new Blackbird from ARC, because it's an iData compatible amplifier, and we want to get that in there and start playing with it. So will Jeff be on the show before he moves to Atlanta? It's up to Jeff, man. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now, so we'll do the best that we can. And besides, we'll see. It's not like we won't ever see him again. Yeah. And the nice thing is that he can phone in anytime he wants. So, that's the great thing about using the service that we use, is that if he wants to come on, he can come on. We don't even have to sit in the same room. Although I do like having him standing next to us and having that fun. It's just the way the world works. So, what's up? What?
Yeah. I'm gonna say this one. Aiden, do you have a go-to song when you tune?
Yeah.
Same question for Fernando.
Yeah, the first song I always play is Hella Cool by No Doubt. I play that song. That's the first song I always play because it tells me a bunch of information about the system. First off, it'll tell me if I have my gain set right. It'll tell me if I got my center right. And then from there, it's a very dynamic song, so it'll tell me if it's going to be like loud enough for what we're trying to do. So it's a very cool first song to play. A little bit better than the previous song that we had, which was Candy or whatever the hell it was, Sex and Candy. That was a fun song, but this one definitely works the system a lot harder. Yeah,
from Maroon 5.
Yeah, so this one is definitely. So I'll usually get in there and do that, and get what I like, and then Fernando will get in and make me change everything.
Well, for me, I'm trying to use in this song called Rise.
Rise.
From
not Rise.
Dominic.
Rise.
Yeah.
Rise, Fada.
It has the backup singers, like the girls are starting like super wide. You can literally hear them like in the corners, and then goes closer in the dash. It looks so. It sounds so cool.
Another Brick in the Wall Part 3 by Pink Floyd. Okay. I don't think I've ever used that to do anything other than listen to it while I'm running.
Oh really?
Well, part 3 is a really short. It's just the conclusion. It's the third part of the song. It's just kind of what you normally hear on the radio is the second part of the song, part 2. And then part 3 is just like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 seconds. It just does a lot of that sound and, and, and then he starts whining about something, because that's all that guy's useful for.
Yeah. People whine a lot.
Yeah, he whines a lot.
Jesus. That sounds like Fernando.
Jesus. So there you go. One of the things we are going to do at some point is create a playlist on iTunes for you guys.
Some point.
We keep talking about doing it, and honestly, we're just lazy.
It's just hard.
We're just lazy.
We cannot pick 5 songs, man.
Well, it needs to be 5 songs apiece.
It's just hard.
The reality is I probably have 3 songs, and then I can give you 7. How's that? That make you feel better? Because I don't need that many songs.
How about if you have 1 and I take 9?
Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
I like Seeing Things in Black. I like Seeing Things by Black Crows, but not a lot of Bottom End.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. And there you go. Bottom End isn't the most important thing, but when I play my first song, I want to. I usually have the subwoofer turned down. I want to hear the mid bass, see what they're doing, to know. All right, well, the door's rattling, or I got to change the crossover point, or did I get it right?
Yep.
And so that's I use it because it's left, center, right. Make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Listen, Oscar. I'm going to listen to it now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not like I won't listen to it. I have it. It's one of my favorite songs.
The one is cool too is like the Tool Chocolate. Oh, dude,
you're so silly.
It's just
that's so boring. That song is
no.
boring.
It's just part of the song that goes from left to right around it, and it's like.
So we have a ban on Adele. We just can't play Adele. Sorry,
I love Adele.
Just can't play Adele. Here's the other thing too. You got to keep in mind. Okay, keep this in mind. I'm all for playing your favorite song, but I'm also for don't play your favorite song. Play a song that you're not going to fall in love with. The reason for it is, especially for us, it's something we're going to listen to a whole bunch, and you just grow to hate that song. Like, I can't listen to that song in a normal world because I just go, oh, I'm tuning a car, and it's just no fun. So for me, I have songs I listen to when I'm tuning, and I have songs that I listen to in my everyday life. And I try to keep them apart because I don't want to ruin that. I don't want to just overplay that song. I mean, I only got like 50 songs I listen to anyways. Mm-hmm. So every time I transition one over into the tuning world, that's one less song for me to listen to now.
Well, I have so many playlists, and one of the playlists is like demos, and I don't play those when I'm in my car like that. I just play my regular music done, and it's like that's it. So,
yeah. So we'll get our list together, and then maybe we'll just do a show on that. We'll have some fun.
That would be.
Because I mean, we've done a podcast on it many years ago when we did the podcast. Mm-hmm. But that list has changed a lot since then. So we'll have to upgrade it. But hey, with that, make sure to tune in tonight at 6:30. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Get it, man. You get it. Whoa. Watch the F-bomb.
Sorry, guys. You can't do that stuff, man. Come on. You're gonna think that I'm a bad guy.
What's up, Mel? What's up, Morale? What's up, Arturo?
Hey.
What's up, everyone?
How you guys doing?
I mean, clearly better than you. Oh, he's comfortable. Don't let him flee. It's totally cool. He's got his foot up. He's just chilling.
I don't know.
What don't you know?
That hurts.
Don't be such a crybaby.
I know. That's how I am.
That's that seat in your side. Yeah, it's like, this is a great thing to hit your head on. I've done it many times. It's wonderful. Oh, look at that. Another Kenwood 901.5. Seems to be the amplifier choice. Yeah, that was Monday and now today. This is a 4Runner for those of you guys that aren't familiar with the interior of a 4Runner. So this one, we've done this before. Specifically, he bought all the same stuff that he's seen us do in a video to get the same install. So we got 9602 Kenwood sets here, 174, I believe, 2 sets of 6.5s. Amp's going to power all those. Things he's doing differently, we've done it before. He's doing a Pioneer radio in the dash, floating screen, which with the current Metra kit you can't totally assemble. Metra's changed this kit about a year and a half. Originally the kit screwed into here and here, mounted up really nice. The problem is that it just snapped back into the dash and there was no screw points. So they went back to the drawing board and they took the screw points off, but they added in these mounting brackets. So the problem we run into now is when you do a big floating screen radio, there's nothing to attach the radio to this, so the screen will shake like this inside of the mount. To prevent that, we add in these pieces of plastic here on the sides, which there's a body rail here and here so now when this goes in, it stays nice and secure and doesn't move. And then when this snaps in over it, everything is hunky-dory, nice and strong. I've talked to them and said you really need to like integrate this with this and solve the issue, but hey, you never know. One day, if they have thousands of these they need to sell, or hundreds of these they need to sell, you can't exactly change it. That radio has the horrible HDMI connector. Yeah, so here's the HDMI connector, which to me is like, and then here's the USB-C connector. Now, since the radio's come out, they've since added in a 90. So you get this 90, but it's still right there. So for this, we take two pieces of 1/8 inch. This is ABS, but any 1/8 inch will do. We use the really skinny double-sided Tessa tape to stick this onto here, stick those two together, and that allows us to add this zip tie that holds this USB-C nice and tight in place. Otherwise, it is going to break off, or it's going to fall out, or it's when you go to put the wires in. It's just not a good scenario for. Like, this is it's like the worst idea ever. Worst idea ever. I mean, maybe like building a bridge in a really windy ravine and the bridge shakes and people die. That's probably the worst idea ever. But this is...
Wow, you have to go there.
I'm just saying, I mean, when you say the worst ever, maybe the worst... This is a failure for design of a radio. Yeah? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
Yeah.
not really, but
I don't know, but you gotta classify things. You gotta break them down.
classify.
What's up, Casey?
Casey?
Yeah, Casey.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Do you know that Casey works for this nice company? They can provide you with so many things of car audio. Yes, exactly. Amplifiers, speakers, home audio too. But let's talk about just car audio. Beautiful amplifiers, beautiful speakers. Go check them out. Where are they? Right there. Exactly. MorelHiFi.com. Boom. You can find it there. Oh, here. Instagram. Morel_America. They actually did a giveaway of a coffee cup. Very cool. That I own. So.
Oh, is your coffee cup?
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
The red one with the black.
Yeah. You let them give yours away?
No. They give away one. But just pay attention with them because they give away so much stuff. So just follow them.
And this show has been brought to you by Fernando. Dean, that is too close. I know. Fernando is the morale cowboy. Yes, he is.
I have to buy a hat?
Yeah.
I know. I would never buy a hat.
The Rockford radios back in the late 90s. Those were built by Delphi, if you didn't know that. Yeah.
Who?
The Rockford radios back in the day. Audio Control D6-1200 or Arc Audio PS 50 currently have a D6 doing two-way front and sub. I'm still trying to stay away. Single amp, I would only want the Arc if it really wanted to go three-way front and add rears. There's a big power difference between the PS 850 and the D6-1200. There's a huge power difference. It's gigantic. I mean, don't get me wrong. The PS 850 has a much deeper DSP, as well as the Arc, the new Blackbird that just started shipping that is replacing the PS 850. Yeah. That is more power. But still, the D612 power. I mean, listen. If you want options, the Arc has a way deeper DSP than the Audio Control.
Yeah.
If you want power, then those two products are not going to compete with the D6-1200. Now, Arc makes big amplifiers, but maybe not in the category you're trying to, what you're trying to do. But anyways. Nando, not the DSP cowboy. No, he is not the DSP cowboy.
DSP cowboy. It's
he's in Canada.
He's in Canada. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. So, yeah. What are you working on?
I'm working on the fuse holder right now.
Okay.
So that's it. This is gonna go here. I'm gonna add a ground, just because we always do. So. But that's it.
So you mounted it to, so we did our bracket where we mounted to the bolt here, add a secondary bolt. So you pull this bolt, the battery's still nice and in place.
Yeah.
You're golden. Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
That's what we do.
Now I will say, if you guys are trying to get this bolt off, this bolt is way easier just because it's made to come on and off. This bolt has been tightened with an impact. So a lot of the times what happens is you go to take this off with a standard wrench, and all you're going to do is twist the whole thing. Because it's
and you got to be careful, because if this one is tight, you can break.
Well, or you can just strip it, make it thinner, and then it never tightens back up. Yeah. So if you do decide to use this bolt, I would strongly suggest using some kind of an impact just to break it free. Not to put it back on, but just to break it free so that you can get that nut off. Yeah. Because it's on there like super tight.
Super tight.
Super tight.
Very tight. Really.
Double stacking amplifier is good or bad idea? I've never had a problem doing it. I don't mind. As long as there's a little bit of space between them and they're in a good area. You have some ventilation. Yeah, you're fine. I will usually when I stack them, I usually put my sub amp on top. And my highs amp on the bottom, just because I know the sub amp is going to draw more current than the it's going to get hotter. The sub amp is going to get hotter, so I always put that on the top. So that's pretty much what I thought about the two amplifiers. D6 for power, ARC for more stuff. I don't necessarily need. Yeah, all right. Well, there you go. What is an ideal setting to set crossovers on a DMA-10 for infinity reference? Three stage, 3.5 front, 6.5 by 9, 3. All right, so hold on. Stage 3 dash 3.5 front, 6 by 9 three-way, mid bass, and rear 6 by 9 three-way, and a ram. So, depending on what you're trying to get, when you have a three-way 6x9, if you just look crossovers, all we're talking about is crossovers. Mm-hmm. More than likely, you're going to cross your 3.5 over somewhere around 350, and see where that takes you. Make sure that you're going to have to listen to it, see if it's.
And I'm guessing that 3.5 is like the coaxial.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 coaxial. So make sure that you're not overdrawing. Make sure it's not going crazy on the mid bass. So I would start at 350 and then my 6x9. If it's a three-way and I want it to actually play like a three-way, then I'm going to cross it over at 80 hertz and just play it all the way up. If I'm trying to get tweeter frequency out of there because I want that sound to be coming from my dash, then I'm going to cross it over at 350, both at 24 dB. The rear speaker, there again, 80 hertz. You can start there. It has a high pass. You're not going to need a band pass for that. That's entirely up to you.
It's high pass.
Torque spec on the bolt is 100 foot-pounds. Dude, it must be. Cardio education just joined. What's up from Australia? Yeah. I have the Focal 60 watt RMS for mid-bass, 20 watts tweeter. I have a Rockford 4-channel, which is 75 watts more. If I run clean power to amp, can I send the full 75 watts to the mids? Yeah, okay, so things you have to keep in mind. That's right, I turned the camera around. Thing you have to keep in mind when you're asking a question about power. Power typically isn't what kills the speaker, all right? It's a bad crossover point and your gain structure set up wrong. That's what does it. The speaker can play an amazing amount of power within its band range. And if you get that wrong, That's how you blow the speaker. It's like we put plenty of power, more power than that most manufacturers recommend, to the speakers.
Yeah.
It's okay, because for one, we know it's not getting all that power just because of the frequencies it's supposed to be playing. However, if you get in there and you're like, dude, I'm going to use this gain tool and I'm going to set it for 5 dB or 10 dB, that's saying that you're going to accept, or you're saying that speaker can handle 5 or 10 dBs worth of distortion, which it may be able to. You never know. But it's not to make it louder. That's where a lot of people get confused. So, if this is the max volume that the stereo can play, and you're playing something that is modern, very hot output, good song, like someone asked us the other day, one of the songs that I play is Hella Good by No Doubt, because it is a really well recorded, very hot output song, and it will tell you right away if you've got your gains maxed out for a song like that. And it's like, okay, yeah, these are topped out. But then if you go play something old school, like let's say some AC/DC or some Aerosmith or something like that, if that is in your genre, or some old school, something and then you play it at that same level, and it's like, oh, that's not topped out. Okay, so that's what that dB of overlap is for. So what happens, though, is that everyone will set their gains for negative 5 dBs or negative 10 dBs of overlap, and then they'll go in and they'll play that first song, Hella Cool, and they'll crank it all the way up with that added amount of distortion to it, and that's when your speakers are going, what are you doing to me? Or you get the crossover point wrong, because you're like, I'm going to be playing these super, I'm just going to be listening to techno and hip-hop and just bass, and you're like, oh, I'm going to cross it over at 60 hertz.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because the speaker has a frequency response from 40 to 35,000. So...
some speakers don't like that.
So the real move is to, set your crossover up maybe a little higher than you thought, set your gain down a lot lower than you thought, turn the stereo on, and see how it sounds, okay? If you got plenty of volume, leave it alone. Maybe adjust the crossover a little bit. If you feel you need more volume, that's when you start working your gain just a tad bit, okay? And regardless of that, you have to do what I just said to kind of understand your system. You're building race cars here for speakers, so there is no... Whether we install it or you install it or the guy down the streets install it, there is no perfect setting on a volume now that will make everything sound good. It's not going to happen. You have to be aware of when to turn it down, when to turn it up. So, but back to your question, yes, it should handle it just fine as long as everything is set up. Do you deal with loud chimes on the Chevy after installing 4-channel amps? There's not much to deal with, man.
What's up, Mike? It's Mike.
Mike. We're going to miss you, Mike.
Yeah, we're going to miss you, man.
If you don't have an EQ installed in there to actually pull that sound down, some Chevys, you can go back to the dealership and ask... Some Chevys you can go back to the dealership and ask them to lower the chime, because that is an option. It will go down part way and then it stops if you've ever been in the radio settings. So because it's a safety feature, they can't make it so you turn it all the way off, but you can go back in and ask them to turn it down lower. They may charge you, an hour's labor rate or something like that, but that is something that they actually have access to in their software. Or you get a DSP that has either a notch filter or a parametric EQ that you can adjust. Obviously, if it's parametric, you can adjust the band on it, and you can make it a very narrow band, pull that frequency down to a usable level. And if it's a parametric, it's not going to give you the effect to the left and right to make things sound weird. Otherwise, you just be like, hey, man, you got a lot of noise right now. Any reason to buy a high-end head unit with all built-in audio settings like time limit, etc. if you're using a DSP in the same maybe mid-level unit with CarPlay would suffice? Your opinion? That is a great question, and no, do not buy the mid-level unit at all. If you're designing a system where sound quality is key, you can't buy a mid-level unit, because you're building a race car. The radio is where all of it starts. So you're not going to buy a mid-level mid-level motor just because you got a racing rear, I suck at cars. You want it soup to nuts to be the best that it can be all the way through, because mid-level, really? You bought a $1,500 DSP and you're on a $400 radio into it, or maybe a $600 radio into it? There are some good $600-$700 radios for sure, but no, do not get a cheap radio, because the cheap radios suck. They're just feature price point driven things. You want to buy the best of the best, thank you sir, because that's what's going to sound good. Now, if you're like, all I'm going to listen to is if CarPlay, you're going to be listening to CarPlay, yeah, you definitely want to get something with a good preamp section, a good DAC. Whether you use the onboard time alignment and all that, it has an EQ built into it. Depending on the DSP you buy, you may only have one EQ, you may have two EQs. What are you talking about? So if this is something new that manufacturers are slowly introducing into the populace so that people can kind of wrap their heads around this. So to do a system properly, full nerd will say, you really need 3 EQs if you're using a factory radio. Aftermarket radio, you can get away with 2 EQs. Follow this train of thought. The first EQ with a factory radio is for de-equalization, meaning I need some bands there to fix the signal before I then apply my EQ to it. Okay, you don't need a lot, you just need a little. Fix some of the high points, bring them down, make them more manageable. So that's why you're seeing some of these guys give you a 5 or 10 band, very generic input EQ, or it's a service that they have built in that they'll do auto EQ. Okay, so think of it this way, because a lot of you guys are familiar with Kicker. So you have the key lock, and then you have the key 200.4. The key lock has an EQ built into it that's designed to do de-equalization. So you put that in, and then you put a key 200.4 in that has a EQ to do acoustic. So there's 2 EQs right there fixing the sound. All right, so that's the thought in these bigger EQs. Now, the third EQ is the salt and pepper. All right, so what do I mean by that? Yes, you can have an EQ with 10,000 presets in them, but most EQs are set up to where it's I have channel 1 EQ, channel 2 EQ, channel 3 EQ, channel 4 EQ, so you have 8 bands of equalization. Now, some EQs, DSPs allow you to group EQs together so that you can then make other adjustments to it, but a lot of them don't, because they have what's called destructive summing, meaning when you bring 2 channels together, it says, do you want to use the left channel or the right channel as your main EQ, and then it throws the other one away. That's terrible. So now if you get a good radio that has a really nice EQ built into it, you can use that EQ to finish off the stereo. So that's a great place to have your presets. So you've used the EQ that's built into the processor to get your normal response, meaning what we'll call flat, but not necessarily flat, but flat enough to where it's everything is acoustically generic. So there again, not the best word to use, but you kind of, I think, understand what I'm saying. Then you take that, and that goes into your aftermarket radio, which is either going to have a 13-band EQ, maybe a 10-band parametric EQ, maybe a 13-band EQ, and a 7-band parametric EQ. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that you can have access to. You can use that now to make 4 presets for, let's say, talk, hip-hop. You guys know what you listen to. So you'll have a global EQ to really kind of finish off the stereo. Back to the question of earlier about the PS8 replaced by the Blackbird, when we had Brian on 2 weeks ago. One of the things we were talking about with the new Blackbird is the fact that it has 3 EQs built. It actually has 4 EQs built into it. It's got a lot of equalization built into it for just doing what we're talking about. So it can be crazy, but no, buy the best radio you can. Wow, that got long. But it's not an easy question to answer. You know what I mean? It's there's a lot of caveats to it that a lot of people don't think about, because they always just think the one DSP is the magical device that'll do it all. There's one ring to rule them all.
Yes.
And that's not always the case. All right. Sorry, guys.
So Danny asked a question. No, you gotta go.
I gotta go.
All the way. No, you pass.
All right, slow down.
No.
Hold on. I was looking at Mike.
Go back.
Mike's having a conversation with somebody. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Coming back.
You will see right there.
No, I know. Sorry. Dean, I have a 2020 Silverado with the Bose system doing a 6100 speaker for each. Do you recommend a tweeter or 2.75 speakers? What have you done on those? Oh, great question, Danny. We've actually done two things in those. Is it Bose or is it just standard? It's Bose. Okay, so it's a Bose 7-channel system is what that is. And which is cool. You have this 612. Hopefully you have the D61200.
Yeah,
which is nice because that has 8 channels of input on the D61200. So typically what we do is take the dash speakers, go into high 1 or high front. The door speakers go into front. Then the rear goes into rear, and then, goes into, Anyways, it has 8 inputs, you have 7 outputs.
What will you put? Tweeter or mid?
All right. The problem with doing a tweeter in the dash is when you look at the RTA output of what comes out of the dash and what comes out of the door, if you're going speaker for speaker, there's way too much that the dash provides as far as sound goes that the tweeter is not going to do, and not enough signal going to the door to provide a high enough frequency to match up to the tweeter like you'd get out of a full range sound. So what we've done in the past is we put the tweeters into the front and we left those alone, and then we had to sum in the tweeters the dash speakers into the door speakers so that we could get we didn't sum the top. We left those, so channel 1 and 2 input were just the top of the dash, and then channel 3 and 4 input, we summed the dash speaker and the door speaker into that channel so that we had enough frequency to put a mid-range in the door that would play up to the tweeter. Got kind of weird because of the all-pass filters that are in there, so it was really sketchy on the, all right, there's no time alignment, just keep it simple. It sounded fine. Like, in the end, it was like, ooh, this sounds great. It's way easier to put a really nice 2.5 in the dash and like a big mid bass, like a 6x9 mid bass in the door. It's way easier and sounds really nice. So there's no wrong answer for it. That's just how you have to do it. So if you're gonna put it, I like the mid range up in the dash just because that's what they're used to. And a better mid-range up there sounds even better. And if you really want to get in there, you can possibly cut it up to fit a 3.5. It's not as fun, but you can grind away and get it up in there, which is cool because then you get a tweeter. But that's what you have to do if you're going to do a tweeter, and that's what you're going to 2.5. It's just channel 1 and 2, channel 3 and 4. Everything plays channel for channel. So hope that answers the question. If it didn't, you know how to get a hold of me. 200.4 key front stage in a Toyota. Want to run 501 on the sub. Would input signal from factory rear be used on the 501 even with rear door still being ran off factory radio? No, I typically never. The rear door is usually the wrong in any car to get the rear speaker or get the sub channel because the front door speaker in a lot of these cars is considered the subwoofer. Whereas the rear could have a high pass filter on it. If you want to check, obviously you need something that has the ability to measure the electrical RTA. That's what we made the IRTA2 for. That cool device that lets you look at the electrical signal, which we actually have this guy right here, the IRTA2. Yay!
You can find it in DNF tool drawer.
You can find it in DNF tool drawer. But what that device allows you to do, which we do have a video up on DNF tool drawer showing you just that, is measuring with pink noise to see if the rear speaker is in fact full bandwidth. So one of the things we always do when we're getting ready to integrate into a car is if we get to softball where the rear speakers are so easy to get to, we go, let's test them. So we'll play pink noise, hook up our tool, see what they're doing, and see if there's bass back there. If there isn't bass back there, then we know, no, we can't get those. We're going to go to the front doors, grab where the bass is. Even like a Chrysler that has 6x9s in the back and 6x9s in the front. The backs are mid-range, the fronts are mid-bass. So to me, especially when I'm doing key stuff like that, I just grab the front speakers and I use that to feed all channels on all amplifiers, especially if we're doing like a front stage upgrade where I'm going to use the key 200.4 to do an active front. That same input goes right into the 501 because if I don't need to tap the rears, don't tap the rears. I run my subs hot in home theater. I have my home theater subs. Yeah, I never get to use them, but I did get to use them the other day. And since all products is made of smoke, once you let it out, you can't put it back in. That's all bad. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. I'm just excited about the article Andy from Audio Frog is planning to do regarding the way to set up your gains. Yeah, I read that too. I'm kind of interested to see what he has to say. Yeah. You don't read his stuff, so he's coming out with he wants a PDF that he can just send everyone on how to set up gains, and so you just stop asking questions. So it'll be interesting to see what he says. Turn the gains down. No, man, turn the gains all the way up, bro. All the way up. All the way to 11. Break the knob off. Do you set gains on amps before DSP settings? No, I always set the gain is last. The DSPs typically have like 10 volts of output. They usually have a ton of output. So very rarely we're doing anything with the gains at all other than keeping them down as low as humanly possible. You'd be surprised how often the gains never get cracked at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't. It's like,
what?
I know.
Oh my God.
No, that's crazy.
I paid for it.
Yeah, I paid for them. I paid for them to get turned so that I can play my radio at 15 and it's maxed out. Do you like pure leaf tea or gold peak tea? Ooh. Oh man. You know, I'm a tea opportunist. Most of the time when I find like tea that I'll drink, like I don't really care because I'm not a connoisseur of tea. You know, I like peach, I like lemon, raspberries. Raspberries like one of the best. But that's typically what I'm going for, and the only time I'll drink it is like in an emergency. Like I need caffeine because I hate the taste of soda or pop, depending on where you're from. So tea is just easier, and it gets me a quick buzz, so to speak. Yeah, it's always fun.
Like Monster or Red Bull.
I hate Monster and Red Bull. What do you mean? Yes, I have.
Really?
Yes.
Where?
Dude, I've tried. I only have to try shit once to realize that I don't like it. I don't have to go, I didn't like it that one time, but if I try it again, maybe the outcome will be different.
You never know.
Yeah, you kind of do. You kind of do. Even if the features are redundant. Yeah, you don't have to turn them on. You don't have to turn them on. And let's be honest, the time alignment in a radio is nowhere near as good as the time alignment that is in an aftermarket DSP. Alright. We do have a test playlist on Apple Music. First search Paragon DSP test tracks. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to look for that, Mike. Cool. Funny thing I saw this week, guy with an Audi with the Bang & Olufsen system. They used a $10 high to low and asked me why when I play music loud, bass shuts off. The high to low was super hot. You know, it's funny. That's actually more common even in some professionals. They just don't understand or care. Or just anybody for that matter. They argue over like, I'm going to use this little SNI 35. What's that?
It's in the top.
Oh, it's right here.
Right there.
And this is what happens to it when you put too much power to it. Let's take a closer look. So an SNI 35 is called an SNI 35 because originally it was designed to handle 35 watts. Because back in the 1980s when they came up with this, 35 watts was considered a lot of power. So that's all you really needed. Now what's underneath the SNI 35 is something very similar to this, which is load resistors and transformers. This is an over-exaggerated version of it. But very similar idea to something like this. Now this is an SNI 35 that was put in a Lexus on a factory amplified system. This was getting way more than 35 watts, as you can see. And what happened here is that these sandstone resistors, well, they're designed for heat dissipation. Inside it is the axle resistor, but these are designed to get hot, and this is what cools it. When you combine that with plastic and it trying to handle too much heat, well, then it melts and turns into a ball of goo. So, you know, when guys sit there and say, bro, all you gotta buy is a $9 high level to low. I've used this for the last 20 years and it's great and it's super. And no, yeah, in some applications, if it's 35 watts or less, this will do the trick, man. This will do the trick. There's nothing wrong with this. It'll work every time. But if you put it in something that has more than 35 watts, well, hey,
boom!
Make sure you have a fire extinguisher handy. We got lucky when we caught this. This was actually stuck onto the plastic in the car, and you could see this, and we're like, oh, hey, dude, bad idea. He was like, oh, crap, I didn't realize that. And, of course, we kept it because, hey, it's a really cool conversation piece. But, yeah, yeah. And, wow, it finally froze up.
Well, I mean, you can...
Come on. Oh, there we go. We're back. Anyways, you guys get the idea with that, so we won't belabor that point.
Flame.
Thanks, Mike. Ooh, wow. Oh, lights. There we go. Yep, there's a light.
Like.
I had a 2014 Nissan Altima the other day. Install a Sony AX200 with RPNI11. Could not get steering wheels to function correctly. VR button would flash the pack unit, but no response in the head unit. Some of the Sonys, you have to go in and program the steering wheel controls manually. I don't know if that's one of them, but on a lot of them, you have to go into the menu. And even though it's super simple and like it should do what it needs to, you still have to go back in after the fact and program. There's a whole steering wheel programming page. Yeah, it makes no sense. But a lot of the Sonys are like that, so that might have been the problem. You bet, Danny. Can we get a new episode of Installer Diaries? I learned a lot from that. Dude, we literally just finished an 8-part installer diary on a Porsche. Like, it was huge. And then we moved right into, like, a car, a lab. I can tell you right now, there's not one planned, and like, we have other videos we're doing right now, just because, like, we've been doing diaries after diary after diary, and I know we like them. I like them, too, but there's other things that we enjoy doing. So, we have some more cars that we've heard that are coming up. We have a couple more product reviews. We have a new segment that we're trying where we sit and listen to some speakers and see how how that plays out. So we're trying new things along with, yes, don't worry, there'll be more install diaries, but the channel there's a lot of days in a year. So, for us, it gets kind of boring doing the same thing. So, we like to do other things on the channel. There's 2,000 videos. Installer diary is up in the 400s.
Yeah.
There's 400 installer diaries videos. Over 400. You can't have watched them all. I'm just saying.
Watch them all.
I mean, maybe you have, but there's 400 of them. Take your time. Maybe go back and watch the older ones. I'm just saying. They go. It's a great progression from how the series started to where it is now. So.
The meme of Dave Chappelle with the cock around.
No.
Really?
No. Which one?
It's like Dave Chappelle. It says you have more of those. Like days off, or you can put some form of you have more of those install diaries. I will show you.
Okay, show me later. 2021 Ford Explorer ST 14 speaker system sounds like crap. Wanted to do the JL Audio Stealth Box to upgrade bass, but I don't like the whole thing. What path would you take to slowly redo radio? I don't think there's a path you can take to slowly redo that radio at all. I don't think that's one of those, like, because you're going to need a Zen module, or by the time you go to do it, maybe the PAC module or the Mo Bridge module, AP adapter. So, adding the JL Stealth Box into the corner, it's going to give you a little bit of bass. It's not really going to change the tonality of the car. These newer cars with these premium audio systems, they're not made to be walked through. Like, you can't do new speakers because the new speakers might sound worse than the old speakers. Not saying you can't, but normally you don't, because it might sound worse and then you make no progress. I got you more of those days off.
So it's like you got more of those installed diaries?
Yeah. I think at this point, what I would recommend doing is coming up with a game plan to do the whole system and then just work towards it. Buy stuff slowly but surely, and then in the end, just like, boom, put it all in and everyone's happy. Boy, Mike has just stole the show, man. Oh, we got to get Mike on. I didn't think about, how did I not think about that?
The mic on?
We got to get Mike on the live. Yeah, we'll get Mike on the live. I'll call him. We'll figure it out. Maybe next month we'll get Mike on, because we're going to see him at SEMA. So, yes. Yeah, we got to get Mike on. Do you like Pure Leaf tea or Gold Leaf? I still don't have a good answer for that. Awesome. Appreciate the info. Sorry. Should have said it's the Tacoma. Thanks again, fellas. Hey, no problem. Running seal box, switching to ported, give me more output. I mean, the technical answer to that is, in a certain frequency range, yes, you will get more output with the ported box in that specific frequency range, where the port and the subwoofer couple to give you the bump that is associated with ported boxes. Yes, so to answer the question, technically, yes. That is one of the big differences between a ported and a sealed box. So in that bandwidth, you will have more output volume. That output volume could be great, or it could be okay. If you're looking to be like, I went from 112 to 212s because I went from a sealed to a ported box, probably not going to see that kind of output. Yeah. What is your nemesis car to install? Ooh. Volvo, Saab. Don't like either one of those. Like, I'd rather just take the day off and not come back ever.
Really?
Yeah, they're no fun to work on. I know some people love them. I'm not a fan. Okay. What's up, Oscar?
Good, man.
Hey, which speaker will you go with? The Alpine Type R or the Sony, I'm guessing, ES Mobile? It depends what I'm trying to do. Really just depends what I'm trying to do, where it's going to go. They both make great speakers. It's just a matter of what's going to fit. A lot of the times, that's the most important thing. It's like, oh, I want these speakers. Oh, they don't fit in your car. Oh. So that's kind of what I look at to see what's going to happen. They're both pretty cool. Oh, reminds me, stay tuned. We got a bunch of Sony stuff that we saw the other day, but we're going to be doing like a full ES unboxing and walking you guys. I shouldn't even tell you this. We're going to do it anyways. We're going to do a full walk you guys through the whole new ES line, so if you're not familiar with it, you will be. I know, it's not an install diaries. The vlogs from years back were awesome. You saw every detail from radio to Dean, kind of pissed at Paul. Yeah, not much has changed. We just edit that part out. Yeah, we did a lot of radios back then. A lot more DSPs now, which is kind of cool. Do y'all have any videos on the older F250? Yeah, there's quite a few of those on the older F250. There's even like back when we used to do how to install radio videos. I know there's one in the F250. I know like retaining the backup camera was one of the F250 videos. So yeah, there is some older drop top Vipers. Oh yeah. Yeah, the Viper that has like the subwoofer or like the convertible where like everyone wants to put a sub in the trunk and you can't, so you got to put it between the two seats, and that sucks. Didn't Oscar do a good one of those?
He did one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna have him. If we ever get another one, I'm gonna just have him build the box and just send all the parts to him and be like, "Hey, build this," and then him go, "Screw you."
Probably.
Mustang Broncos, same. Go back to your side, Paul. Oh, that's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it happens. No. I don't want Oscar to do my car. I mean, yeah, I don't want to do it. The thing is, it's my car. I want to do it because I want to have fun doing it. It's just got to be the time is right. You got to be in the mood. I know.
Right?
You just got to be in the mood. You got to be in the mood. It's something that you gotta.
That's never gonna happen.
No, it'll totally happen. I'm getting psyched right now because I'm just thinking about the Blackbird. I'm in my head. I'm figuring out what I want to do because that's why That's why we have the extensions. I'm just trying to figure out we should run 0 gauge just to the back because I was thinking I want to do the same thing we did in your car where I just have an amp rack in the back. So just bring 0 gauge to the back with distribution block, and then get some barrier strips and all that silliness to have it all plug in through AR and whatnot. So I just got to get everything in my head straight
right now, man.
I know.
Don't get excited.
Is there any reason Ford changes their harness every 2 years? Of course there's a reason why Ford changes their harness every 2 years, because they don't want you to take the old radio and put it in the new car. No, I have no idea why they do it. I mean, that's like, I think they just do it to be difficult. I mean, let's be honest, it's Ford. I mean, I own 2 Fords, so I mean, I feel I can say that without getting yelled at too much, by the Ford lovers. And then everyone else will just say the same thing. But a lot of manufacturers do it. I mean, Chevy's is guilty of it too. It's just taken them a little bit longer. But they've changed, they're on their 3rd or 4th, 5th harness too. It's just, I feel like more people buy Fords. So, I'll put a couple 15 pounds, get her done on the back seat, powered by a Brax amp and a DSP. And the Mustang? Really? I mean, if you could make it look sexy, I'm not going to say no, but probably no. Are you going to run a storage amp for a sub? Wait, hold on. Are you going to run a storage amp for a sub with the Blackbird? I don't understand the question. Right now, I will say, when we get to the Blackbird, which will probably be about a month, it's just going to run the factory system. So it's just going to run center, the front 2-way, the mid bass. So it's just going in as an active thing that I can play with and have some fun with and see how much shine I can put on the factory system. We may put the rear speakers in just because we'll have it apart.
How can you not?
Well, I don't want to take the panels off again, so we may put the rear speakers in just to put them in. But,
That's just bad.
Trying to keep up with new data types. Oh, dude, you don't have to tell us. We know it sucks. Are you going to run a separate amp along with the Blackbird? So the Blackbird is just going in to fill a hole right now. So right now, that's all it's going to do. It's just going to go in and do its thing. There will be other amplifiers in the car down the road, but we're not to that point yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. Baby steps, man. The only thing that ever got put in the Camaro was the Alpine DSP, and we swapped radios every couple times, but we never did anything past that. So you gotta work your way up to these things. Chevys don't know how to make a radio yet, or Toyota. Oh, definitely not Toyota. Toyota sucks. Chevy, okay. I have no idea, Christian. I'll build a box by the end of next month. I should be getting the new CNC around that time.
There you go.
I want Sage's box. I'm not gonna lie. I want Sage's box that they built for the 310s and the Mustang footwell, or in the spare tire well. I think that would be the coolest thing, and I've talked to him about it. I think I'm sold on that. Like, I've convinced myself that's the one I want. Is that I'm working up to it.
Like, yeah, man, just I can build it. Just I'm not gonna sell it, but yeah, man, just let me.
I hope he's watching this, and then when he sees you in a couple days, he's gonna be like, Fernando, that's not how I talk. Yeah. Dean, any thoughts on replacing the stock speakers with the Morel Tempo Ultra 572s on a Ford Ranger extended cab pickup? Why not? I mean, heck yeah, do it for sure. It's an awesome speaker. I'm not gonna tell you no. So will the Blackbird be your permanent DSP? What? No, it will not. It will not be my permanent DSP. No. So then the grand scheme of things, what I would like to do, which means now that I'm telling you, it's probably never going to happen, because every time I say I want to do this, it never happens. So I'm going to spoil it. The idea is to have a permanent set of amplifiers and speakers in the car and be able to swap in and out the DSPs. That is the end game. Will we ever get to that point? I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's where I would like to be. The Blackbird is convenient and can go in because it's iData compatible. The radio is iData compatible. So all I need is an RR, pop that in, and we should be ready to rock and roll. It's a simple upgrade. So that's why we want to do that, is get it in. At this point, it might just lay on my floorboard underneath my gas pedal and get caught up in my pedals just so I can have it in there to play with. But, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
The new Tundra has a pretty cool radio.
Really?
Oscar said so. Must be true. Did I miss the answer for my questions?
Probably.
Quintessors versus component speakers. I don't. Yeah, I think I missed it. I'm sorry. That's the one thing I build a full blam system for. Okay. Dean, I'll build you a triple 10-inch spare tire box. Shipping will be a bastard though. Trust me, it always is. It always is. I said it. Yeah. How is the ES 4-channel any difference than an LC 4.8 aside from being able to have front crossovers? You go up to 5K. Christian, I mean, come on, man. If you just want to own another amplifier, just go ahead. Just go ahead and buy it. Just go ahead and do it. It's great with an Amp Pro. All right. Hey, listen, guys. That's enough playtime for today. Thank you much for tuning in and having some fun with us. Today is Wednesday, so that really doesn't mean anything other than it's Hump Day. So go forth, get your hump on. Wednesday, that is. Don't be sick. And just have a great time with everything. Today's video was the audio control that we've been talking about for weeks. We finally got to play with it. If anything, just watch because it's fun because we had 3 RTAs. It was really cool to see. So check that out and stay tuned for the rest of the week. You guys have a great day as always. We'll see you later next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, yeah, I know. Whoopity-doo. They ain't sponsoring the show.
It's funny that you say that.
Let it go, man. Let it go. It's too soon.
I know.
It's too soon.
But they don't pay me. But I talk about it.
Coke? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They should pay me.
Wow. You're a little full of yourself, huh? Full of Coke. Good afternoon. How are you? So we're working on this classic Chevy.
It's a Chevy.
It's a Chevy. Fernando's working on the 4x6s in the back. The problem with this and the 4x6 is even though it looks like, you can see here, it looks like a perfect 4x6, it's not a perfect 4x6.
Perfect 4x6.
Well, it is now.
But, so if you can see right here, it fits right there, right? But it doesn't. You see?
Right. So this is just calling for like the two screw option.
Yeah, like done.
Yeah. Just bend it and call it a day.
Oh,
Lots
two here.
Lots of foam.
A lot. Nah, why would you?
So even though this is an old truck, we router out, or laser, I should say, we laser out a piece of 1/8 inch, which spaces it out from the car enough to where it'll now sit perfectly flat.
Perfectly. Basically.
So the problem is, it's kind of hazy right in this area right now because we cut those out of wood because they're inside the vehicle, and
it's perfectly fine.
I don't know why we cut them out of, like the last ones we cut out of wood, and they seem to work better. Believe it or not, when you're getting like really, really thin like this is here, the wood is actually like stronger than the acrylic.
Oh, I broke it.
Shut up. And that was the last piece. So like I was going through trying to find, like this is all just wood, and it's like we had one piece, as you can see, these two iPhone looking shapes here, that was just enough to cut it. And I don't know why I kept all this, because like it's wood, just throw it away. So we're just gonna throw it away. I am a hoarder. Cut it. Fit a 6x9. Yeah, of course.
I mean, you can fit a 6x9. Why not?
I don't know what the 4022A is from Kenwood. I don't know what that is. Tune those 40. Yeah, the 46 hertz. Always. Yep. When's the last time y'all did some 4x10s? I know, right? Looks like it has a 3-way up front. Why would somebody want 4x6s in the rear? All right, so for one, they want the truck as loud as they could possibly have it, and they're only going to be powered off with the radio anyways. So we're using a Kenwood radio. So the plan is this is getting a 5-channel up front, so channel 1 and 2 will be for these little beauties right here. Yes, we finally found a car that we could get these in, and it fought the whole way. So it was a fighter. We had to modify the crap out of them to get them to fit where they are now. So did a good job, pat myself on the back. But yeah, so we have this array here will be, and this is the second car we've done for this guy, and he's wanted them in both cars. The first car we had no chance to fit them in. This car I got him in. So this will be on channels 1 and 2. This will be on channels 3 and 4. The 5th channel will be powering 2 L7Ts, which will be in this area here that I have to make a tray to hold it all. This is the plastic panel for the 4x6. The 4x6s are going to be powered off the radio, and why we can do that is because with the Kenwood radio, obviously we have a passive or an active crossover for the rear channels built into it, and we have level control, so we can match, or gain match as we'll say, the output of the radio so the powered output with the RCA output. And if and the problem you run into is like, oh, I want to use deck power. And deck power distorts way before the RCAs. But if they have level control built into the radio, and I don't mean like fader and balance and stuff, there's actually dedicated level control. So I can match the radio's amplifiers output with the RCA output so that they both will turn up, and we'll get the maximum power band out of both of them. So right when these are dying is right when the RCAs stop putting out juice. So it makes it really cool, and then we can use a 5-channel amp as active front and get more control. We're using a Kicker 900.5 Marine, which has bandpass channels, so we can, and a 10-time multiplier switch, so we can do the tweeter array. It'll still be passive, like between the two. We'll have the little passive things, but then it'll have the active crossover high pass for that, and it'll go high enough. And then we can bandpass the mid-range, which are just going to be a set of KS?
Yeah.
KS 6.5 inch mid-range. So we're just pulling the tweeters out of the box and not going to use those for this install. And then the 4x6s to match in the back. And because we're doing it like that, then we're going to have way more power in the front, just a little bit of power in the back, so it'll just give them enough to kind of they'll be there. It's not going to make a lot of noise. Hopefully everything will be coming from the front. So that's the plan. Kicker wants too much for those. Hey, it's you know, whatever. I mean, any issues with beaming? Yeah, they're going to beam you right in the face. The whole idea is he wants highs in your eyes and bass in your back is what we're going for in this one. He wants it really loud. The goal of this is, it's not an SQ build, it's not an SQL build. I don't know, the guy just wants it loud. You know, this is his work truck. He's like, bro, I just want it loud. It's like, okay. Getting an Epicenter Micro because he listens to music that doesn't have a lot of bass, so we'll fix that. Yeah, there you go. Trimming my third brake light as I listen to remove the extra. Oh, nice. Very good.
Very good.
Day 2 in a row. Dang, boys. Did we go on yesterday? I feel like we didn't go on yesterday. Oh,
No,
we did. We did go on yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you know, last week was rough. We didn't go. Or last couple weeks have been kind of rough. We definitely slowed down a little bit. But do you want to save that box for tomorrow? Why don't we just save that box for tomorrow?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll save that box tomorrow. Does that have 3 cigarette lighters? Yes, actually from the factory it does. There is 3 right here. Because this is just a single cab, as you can see. And because it's a single cab, there's not all these lighters, you know, power ports. Got it politically correct. Power ports all over the vehicle. So oh dude, so yeah, it was funny. Yeah, oh, never mind. The video for tomorrow. Oh, because Mike was just on here and he has a small appearance in that one because part of the, when I was going to meet him.
Yeah, remember.
Yeah, so him and his daughter are there. Power base 3-way component set in a Tundra. Thoughts? Nothing but good.
Power base?
Yeah. Power base 3-way set for, that might. Give it a go, man. Let us know. I love their stuff. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Power Base. I really am. I love the plug and play. It sounds good. It's reasonably priced. I mean, to me, it ticks all the boxes that like you guys ask for. So, I'd have no problem selling it. Install JL Fix 86 along with the Tweak 88 plus 4-channel amp and a mono amp, 2 sets of components and a capacitor, including all wires except speaker adapters, 2021 Honda Civic, and wire remote install. Cost? Not a clue. Couldn't tell you. Don't know. That's not my job here. If you would like a quote on how much that would cost, you can email Paul at spell it out 5starcarstereo@gmail.com, and he'll let you know. PM if you like after. I never look at the PMs, man. PMs, DMs, whatever they're called.
CM.
I don't ever.
DM.
I see. Yeah. Is there a 4x6 or 4x7 in the rear over your shoulder? Yes, there's a 4x6 is what we were talking about when we first came on. This is the speaker here, and the problem that you run into is that the new 4x6, the basket is actually a 4x6, whereas the factory is not a true 4x6. So in order to mount it flush, we have to cut this little tiny 1/8 inch spacer that goes over the back of the speaker, like so. And then it just sits on there like this. And then now we can get it in there so that it won't warp and bend and do some crappy install on the speaker. Mm-hmm. So it's really kind of cool. I see those flat subs. Are you going to put those in the lab? Yes. If you're talking about the full cal subs, we'll be talking about those on Saturday. We'll have them out, talk about specs, talk about box sizes, talk about power handling, all that fun stuff. We'll take a deeper look at those on Saturday. But we will be doing a full, I'm going to have some boxes made for those because they take, really small boxes supposedly. I don't know yet because I haven't had time to do, that's why we're doing it on Saturday. Mm-hmm. But yes. They will be, so the thought is, what we were thinking about is we're going to take both of the 12s, the thin 12 and the regular 12. I'm going to have the optimum box made for the thin. I'll have the optimum box made for the regular. And then we'll take a listen to both, so we can actually A/B between both of the subwoofers. Oh, dude, we could actually put both in the car and use the new A/B switcher we got, so we won't have to unwire them. We can literally just click between the two.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Yeah, so, and not to say which one is better or worse, but just to a lot of people, well, we put them in Haley's car. It'll be in the Haley lab, because it's an SUV, it's more room, it's easier to do, and it has the right amount of power, because those things, I think, are like 250 watts. So at 4 ohm, a kicker key is 250 watts. Our key 500.1 is 250 watts. Well, plenty of power there to power those. But a lot of people always ask, what's the difference between like a big beefy porta box and a thin downfiring enclosure? And I figured this will be kind of the way to answer that question. So it'll be two things. One, we get to hear how great the new Focal sub sound, and two, we get to answer one of the questions, downfiring or big ported. What am I losing? What am I gaining? Do I want to carry groceries or do I want more bass? What's up from Nevada?
Hey.
Boop, boop, boop. Could you do an SPL test?
SPL?
We can, but why? I mean, I have the SPL lab, that's piece you put on the windshield.
Turn lab.
No, we don't have term lab.
No,
it's SPL lab. It's that
That's
brush. Yeah, no, term lab
who made it?
the term lab is Wayne Harris.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't buy one of those. I mean, I could. You want me to? Do you need one? You feel you need one so we can do SPL testing?
Every single car that we do, we have to do that.
Okay. All right. I'll add that to the list.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Going active on a component set, what crossovers do you recommend? It's not whether you recommend. I don't want to recommend anything. You need to know exactly what you're going to be crossing them over at. Are you doing a 12 dB slope? Are you doing a 24 dB per octave slope? Most people will tell you to do a Linkwix Riley 24, but if you have no idea of knowing which one you have, then it's going to be tough. The other thing, too, is you need to know what, like, I can't recommend something because I need to know the parameters of the tweeter, specifically the FS of the tweeter. The FS of the tweeter is going to help us figure out what crossover point we should set them at. Most of the time, you double the FS, so let's say it is a 1.2 or 1400, whatever you want to call it. If you double that, then it would be 28. So you put it at 2.8. A lot of the times, though, it's higher than that. So you can reach out to the manufacturer and see if they'll help you with that. A lot of them will. If it's a Focal, it's easy enough. All of them are 5,000. And then what you do is you match the mid-range to that point. So whatever the tweeter crosses over, the next point, the top for the mid-range, or the low pass for the mid-range is going to be whatever you set the tweeters to. So, how long do you think it'll take to do that truck? We just started on this like an hour ago. So right now it is kind of the first thing I had to do is get the snowmen mounted and see if those would actually work in here. So that was a leap of faith, so to speak. We wanted to get the seats out. We had to make sure. So this will be sometime tomorrow. Yeah. So this will be sometime tomorrow. I don't know when. Probably half day tomorrow. What's up, guys? Have lunch.
What up?
I would love to. I think I already did. Would a 901.5 bridge be too much power for a two-way set of Maximo components? I mean, we just bridged one on the three-way set of Maximo components, and it sounded fabulous. What did we do that in? That was... What car was that? That was last week, right?
That was the first one that we did, no?
I don't remember. What day is it? It's Thursday. Oh, yeah. Hi-Fi Vega tonight. Make sure you tune in for that. Yeah, like I said, we just did that on a three-way set. It sounded great. I think that was at the beginning of the week. The Toyota that we did, the 4Runner we did, we went regular 5-channel on that just because there was so many speakers in the car. That sounded really good too, though, because it's just really nice. Over your recent travels, have you ran across any new products you are really looking forward to trying? Yes. Can I talk about them? No. But yes. There's always cool new stuff that we see that we're like, oh. Or they tell us and we're like, when? And you're like, oh. The coolest thing that's coming that I can talk about, that I'm super excited about, that iData finally took the embargo off of it as far as information goes, is the new AR2. So the current AR is designed to work with amplifiers or processors. So for example, like the new AR works with Audison, it works with ARC, it's really integrated into the new Blackbird. And then AR is what's built into the Rockford DSR1. There's two circuit boards in there. The AR circuit board that feeds the DSR1 circuit board. That's why you have to flash it from each manufacturer. But they're working on the new AR2, which is going to be a preamp. So from there, you'll be able to plug in anybody's DSP. So it'll just be RCAs, feed them in anybody's. So like the difference between like an AR and an Amp Pro is with an Amp Pro, you keep the factory amplifier. It has its bonus, it has its perks. Sometimes that's cool. A lot of the times we want to take the factory amplifier out just because we want the space, especially in like a Ford in the back wall or something like that. We want to get, or a Dodge where it's just cumbersome to deal with the amplifier in that area. So I always lean more towards AR because I want the room. So when they come out with the AR2, which is supposed to start shipping in February, that'll be pretty cool because I'll get the best of both worlds. Do you sell Bland products? Yes. What are you guys working on? This is an old Chevy single cab pickup truck. Get a DSP, not just a crossover. Correct. So, anyways, there we go. That's what we got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excited?
I'm excited. Always excited.
I'm gonna get the radio out. Fun. Well, that's what we got going on here today, guys. Nothing crazy. Just,
No?
the thing is, here's the funny part. When you look at something like this older truck, and you're like, oh my gosh, this should be like, just slam, bam, get this thing out of here. Just like, oh yeah, get it over with. And it's like, no, in order to do it properly, I know there's plenty of shops who just screw these in crooked and who gives a crap, but no, it's like, no, we're lasering panels. Going with the Snowman up here, the amount of work it took to get these in is crazy. I will tell you that, okay, so let me talk about those for just a second. Like when you look at the Snowman, normally they have a little base plate that goes right here. Remove the base plate, that comes off. And then we've actually, there's 3 screws here that hold this thing into place. And they have silicone in the end of the wire. So you kind of like pick out some of the silicone to get it loose and twist it a little bit. And then you can pull these 3 screws and you can pull this off of this base right here. Once we did that, we actually shortened, because it's like this long, so we shortened it to like this long, so it's much shorter and easier to work with and would get out of the way of this. And then what we did is we drilled a 1/2 inch hole here. This is supposed to be like a 9/16, but we drilled a 1/2 inch hole. And what that allowed us to do, definitely brittle yes. But then what we could do is we could take our tap and die set and we could thread the plastic. So what that did is we actually had to screw them into the A-pillar. So screw them into the A-pillar, and then once we got them, we could put our nut, their nut is like this big around. We sanded it down to where it was just like the right size, and then we could put that on, which locks them in place. So that's what allowed us to get these into here. So by no means are this a factory like Snowman mount. We had to modify the crap out of it. I will say this, the one thing that kind of threw us off was the logos, because the logos were all crooked. But if you take your fingernails and you grab this, you can twist the logo. So I was like, oh, thank God, because that was really bugging the crap out of me. It's like, how did it do that? There's no way Kicker did that. Is there any tool you don't have that you would like to get? Funny you should ask. So these front seat bolts are special. It's not those. Where's that? Where's the front seat bolts? Hand me your front seat bolt. So this guy here is the front seat bolt, which we found out we can use like a 15 millimeter deep dish because these things stand up. But I didn't have a socket that fit this, and I was like, holy crap, how do I not have that? So now of course I have to go and figure out which inverted Torx thing this is to order, and I got to get a deep dish one because the shallow ones that we have that do the back bolts, because the back bolts are just it's a skinnier style inverted Torx thing. So it's like, you know, typical GM, they use two totally different you know, sockets to get this car apart, and that kind of threw us off. So we were able to get it apart, but cool, you know. So no, I don't have every tool. Greeting from Jay's Tint and Audio. Oscar and the crew say hello. What's up, Mel? What's up, Oscar? Love those guys.
Yeah, so nice. Oscar has this.
What's that?
Probably Oscar has that socket.
I doubt he does.
Dude,
I doubt he does. 6-point sockets. Yep. Those snowmen are near. Hadn't seen them before. Yeah, no. So that's them. They're not. This is the first car we've actually got them to fit in. Is it an e-torque? I don't know. I hope so. I will check that. That's one of those things where it's like they have so many different like socket style things that look like torque stuff, and then they have their dumb little names for them, and you're like, what the frick? Manual windows next generation would have no idea how to work on them. Okay, and so that's why this guy buys these. Like, this guy only buys old trucks that are in really good shape. And he's apparently pretty decent shape, because he can fix them. He doesn't want new stuff that he can't fix. So he'll put the money into the stereo, and, you know, needs to change his oil. He just changes his oil. But back to the tool thing, you know, that's what we do for a living. So, you know, you don't want a tool to not, you don't want to be like, I was like, dude, like, I got to find this socket. It just was really ticking me off because I was like, I could have swore I have it. And that's one of those things that, like, now back to Oscar. When we were at Oscar's at Jay's Tent the other day, I was going through his toolbox because, you know, why would you not go through somebody else's toolbox and see what tools they had? And he had a tool I don't have. I was like, which is this little guy right here. So this is one of the threaded nutsert rivets, but it's compact and small. He, of course, had the Matco version of it, which was the same exact thing, but they put Matco here instead of Astro. And I think it's red, and it costs a hell of a lot more money. Fernando found this one in 5 seconds on Amazon from Astro, and I had ordered it before we left, and it was waiting for us when we got back from Dallas. So pretty cool there. Hey Dean, you never told me what size the ball. No, I have not. I have not. I will let you know, man. I will let you know. We just haven't. It hasn't been on my list of things to do. And I know that sounds weird, but like, in order to get the amount of work done that we get done, sometimes things get missed because the important, like, not the things that have to get done. You know, I don't know how you want to say it, but I just, you know, I blame Fernando.
Yeah, just blame me. Yeah,
it's his fault. Yeah, the truck was here. You should have checked, man. What the hell?
Yeah. Somebody say universal socket. I seen on TV.
Oh, dude, trust me.
I
was thinking the same thing. I was like, what the frick? I mean, you know, I mean, okay. So,
yeah.
Let's look here. All right. So, you got half-inch sockets. You got half-inch impact deep dish, regular. This is 3/8 impact. I don't even know what these are. Like, I don't even know what this is. Like, this may have worked. I have no idea. I don't even know why we have it, but we have it. This set over here is like, this is the new stuff that a lot of the German cars use, where it's like you have these million little things. And I think this is the second set of these that I bought, because I think I lost the first set. I have no idea where those went. You come over here, and it's like I have the inverted set of those. So this is like this is like the opposite of what those were that we just looked at. So there, and then of course you have like extensions, impact extensions, non-impact extensions, air ratchets, regular ratchets. These are cool because these are for these sockets, which are low clearance sockets. So what these do is these here go into this, and now you have a socket that is like super shallow, which is really nice for a lot of the things we do, like getting up in the corner of a dash. So that's what these do, and of course they make them in small and large. And these are nice because these are both metric and standard, because they have like, 500 little teeth in them. So that's cool. And then you have like the inverted Torx, like what we thought we needed for this, which we did need for the back one, but these are regular, not deep. And then you have the opposite Torx, and then you have, these are the same things. And these are standard, and then you have these that you wobble around. You got deep dish, you got more both Allen, more Torx looking things, short things, long things. It's just one of those things where you just kind of buy every freaking, and then when it comes to like wrenches, you have every different wrench you could possibly imagine. This is something stupid to get the ignition out of a freaking Mercedes that we had to go buy because we had to pull that out. So these are all standard wrenches, and then we needed one freaking these are all metric. We needed one standard wrench one day and we didn't have it, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So then I went and I bought every single standard wrench that the cheap tool store has. We've never used them, they're literally just sitting here. We've never even opened them, but we have every configuration that they make at the cheap tool store. We just bought them all. So they just sit in this drawer and never get used. So,
Now, if you find what type of tool it is, just by the end of this video, just put it in the comments so we can find out what's going on.
I enjoy buying new tools also, but sometimes it's like...
So Mike say, question.
Yeah.
Anything on 2022 Tesla X model?
I got nothing.
Nothing.
Oscar might know something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Teslas are the one. We just don't get Teslas. I'm not upset about it, but we just,
That would be Matt.
Yeah, Matt doesn't answer anybody. When installing a DSP on an Android Tesla radio screen, still be bad audio. It has Alpine status, 3-way components. Just wondering if I change the radio would improve it. This goes back to what we talked about many, many times. The river has to start somewhere. Sound starts with the radio. If you're planning on using the radio as the source unit, just because you put a DSP after it, you can only shine a turd so much. If you start with muddy water, it can't fix that. Now, if you're just putting a DSP in and you want to use the DSP for audio and just have the radio in the dash to do like air conditioning controls and stuff like that, maybe Bluetooth calls, well, then that's a whole different story. So like a lot of these DSPs have the ability to stream in or add streaming modules to them, or add plugins or stuff like that, to where you're actually feeding the audio from your device, whether it be a phone or portable, into the DSP with their volume control, and you're doing it that way, and then you tap a button, you can go back to the factory radio for, let's say, maybe FM, like I said, maps or Bluetooth calls or something like that. Feature-wise, but never are you going to use one of those radios as a source unit to feed into a DSP in the hopes that you're going to get like really clean, crisp, amazing sound, because they're just not capable of doing that. It's a bad place to start.
Bad business, bro.
Tech tip of the day: have both standard and metric, even though you'll never use the standard. Sounds good. I'm just wondering if it can be better. Vice grips in an hour to turn thread lock all the way, Rusty. Oh no, we got vice grips, man, but I don't want to use them. So, do you have space for more tools? That's good. So you do have space for more tools. So this box here is a lot of those type tools, like sockets and nuts like that. And then this toolbox over here. This toolbox over here is for like all the handheld stuff. So this is like your all your wrenches, cutters, crimpers, and so this is just filled with all of that stuff. And then this is electronics and junk and stuff like that. These are folders, and then those are filled with tools. And then this toolbox is for video equipment. And then this, of course, is where we keep all of the desk tools. They're, again, redundance of everything. And then Fernando has all his tools. So, you know, the thing is if you need more tools, you just buy more toolboxes. It's really what it comes down to. Garbage in, garbage out. I mean, that's the easy way to say it. But you're right.
That's the means.
I mean, garbage in, garbage out. I mean, that's the truth, but no one likes the truth. Should three-way component, mid-range mount, and dash be opposite polarity of the mid-bass?
Well, what happened? Okay, so I just remember. What happened if you put the matrix?
You're still shining the turd.
Yeah.
The matrix isn't helping you. It depends on your crossover points. That's what it is. So when people talk about that, so like when you do a three-way set, and it's like tweeter pops positive, mid-range pops negative, mid-bass pops positive. Usually why it's doing that is because of the close proximity of the mid-range to the tweeter. They're either using a 6 or 12 dB crossover point between them. And so to avoid phasing issues and also dips in frequencies at the crossover points, when you flip the one in the middle, it avoids that or minimizes that, and it will arrive at your ear in phase even though it's wired out of polarity, because the distance will put it back into phase at your ear. Remember, phase is time and distance, and polarity is crappy wiring, or misplaced, misguided wiring. It's, you know, you get positive, negative, wrong. So that's one of those things. Now, if you use a 24 dB per octave slope, Linkwix-Riley, then no, those dips that are going to happen at those crossover points don't occur. That is not to say that they still may arrive out of phase at your head. You may still have to flip them, but that's one of those things that you're going to have to make an audible when doing the installation. So it's not something, you know, you can plan for it, and so you're like, I think it's going to be this, let's do that, and you go, oh yeah, that works great, but then you might go, oh, something's still wrong. Well, then you flip it, so, oh, that sounds so much better. So yeah, but that's kind of the science behind it. Okay. Christopher, I think is yeah. What's Nano's bucket for common tools? No. So like if you want to learn about the buckets, we do have a video that we did a while ago. There's a tool playlist on YouTube where we kind of, years ago, we spent some time going through all the tools that we use. We should probably do another one just because why not? But so he has a bucket here, and then my bucket is on the other side over here. So let me kind of explain what's happening there. So my bucket is over here. So because I haven't needed it in the car yet. And the buckets all have basically the same tools in them. He has the same set of tools that I have. I mean, there are differences, like things that I want that he doesn't have in his that I might use more for what I do. But for the most part, the core set of tools is identical. And then this is convenient because I can take it over to the car and I can work on the car, and those tools will stay next to this bucket. They won't get cross-pollinated, so to speak. Now, when I come over here to the bench, this is a magnetic strip, and this is for all the same tools that are in the bucket. These don't belong here. These go back into the drawer. We were using them on the things. And then the other stuff that's in the bucket is in here. So like here's your wire strippers, your flush cutters, and other sundries. But and then it freezes.
That spot over there.
What?
Is that spot?
Where?
That where you are right now.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it froze up there for a second. So anyways, this set of tools, for the most part, matches the set of tools that's in the bucket. So they're the same tools. That way, you don't have to go like, where are my wire strippers? They're right here. So here's, now what I like to do is like, I have this set of wire strippers here, and then if we come over here to the bucket, I have this set of wire strippers here. That way I know which one are my bucket tools and which one are my desk tools. And then there's another set of these exact same tools that are in here and there, depending on what they are. And those are for when we lose one of these tools, we're not down for the count. I can just pull it out of inventory, so to speak, give it to whoever lost the tool, and then we'll just order a tool to replace it. So there's 3 sets of tools. I have 3 sets of tools. He has 2 sets of tools. My 3rd set of tools is our backup if we lose any part of our tool set. And then we'll just order another one. So that is what is going on with the tools, and that's why we have the buckets. Good afternoon. What's the best DSP to buy for a factory radio? And there are so many DSPs to buy. That's a tough one, man. It just depends what you want to do. How big the factory radio is. There's a lot more to that than meets the eye. But anyways, one tool to rule them all. I wish. Mordor. Yeah, I know. I really like the countertop though, and it's one of those things that I always think about, but I haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. You know me, it's going to take like 10 years to figure it out. So, where do I find Morel, Fernando?
Morel, you can find Morel at morelhifi.com. And you can find Morel here on Instagram, Morel_America. Boom.
And like that, guys, we hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to tune in tonight on the Hi-Fi Vega Network. We'll be live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time talking about the seriousness of car audio. And then if you like some good fun, tune in at 9:45 on Reverse Polarity. Tonight we're going to be talking about Abercrombie and Fitch. Yeah, along with anything else that crosses our mind. It's the On Car Stereo show. We talk about no car audio. It's a beautiful thing. I really like it. We do talk a lot about you, Fernando, but other than that, it's just what happens. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Is that somebody out there? Is there a Muppet out there? Is that what it sounds like, right? What the heck are you doing?
I just put 2 fuses. I gotta save them.
Okay. What's up? We got a box.
We have 2 boxes that I wanna open today.
All right.
First.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Much love. Much love.
Take a selfie.
I got a knife right here. Remember, I just said how hard it was to find my knife.
Mine is cooler.
Okay. Hold on. Let me put my knife back then, so that I know where it's at.
All right. So this one is for
Rings of Power. Yes. Rings of Power.
I haven't watched it. I gotta watch it.
No, you don't have to. It's not for everybody.
Oh, it's not.
No. I mean, I'm digging
I feel
it.
left out.
Nah, you're good, man. Stick with Game of Thrones.
All right.
All right, so the other day when we were talking about sockets, we were working on a car, and our boy El Fernandez.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know.
My good friend El Fernandez.
He sent me a message that night, and he goes with a picture, and it's like, I got you, bro. And so if my guess is these are the sockets that we were missing. So he knew what they were.
Yeah, he does a lot of mechanic stuff too. So noise.
Nobody saw that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's them. Cool. So there's 2 sets.
It's 2 sets.
One for Fernando, one for myself. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Like always.
So what did they turn out to be? Oh, this is star sockets. Oh, so that's what they call them. All right, works for me. We'll figure it out. That works. Cool. Happy
Yeah.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Hola, Saturday-o.
Feliz sábado.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right, so we have one. Thank you all, Fernandez.
I call them upside down sockets. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Aren't you glad I brought up? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Christian. But, like, you dropped the ball, man. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Wonder where that box is from.
The box is bigger than me.
That's a personal problem. What are you doing? Dude, you're wearing jeans, man.
I know.
They're not spandex.
Look at that. Oh, they come on. Look.
Are they spandex?
Yeah, they
They're flex fit?
Look.
Oh, look at that. Wow. Sorry.
What?
What are you doing? What are you looking for
All
now?
right, so, yeah. We already opened this because we had to. No way we can.
All right, so let's give a brief explanation of what we're looking at here. So the next 2 months, slow it down. So Morel has signed up for the end of the year as far as sponsorship goes.
Yes.
So from now until the end of December,
That's correct.
Fernando will be saying,
Hi guys, welcome to the show. This show is brought to you by MorelHiFi.com.
anyways, he'll be saying that until the end of the year, and hopefully beyond that. But what we did, when we talk to manufacturers about sponsorships, obviously each month we like to have something new to bring to you. This month is the cool 4-inch drivers that we made a really cool video on that you guys haven't seen yet. It was also Haley's car. What, the least expensive 3-way front stage speakers? No, they didn't give us those to talk about. Maybe next year we'll talk about those. But so with the way that the year, you got October, November, December, with the 12 days of Christmas coming in December, they want it to be part of that, and they don't want to take away from it. So basically what we're going to be talking about for the next 2 months are what is in this enclosure here. So we won't even be talking about this until October, but since they sent it to us and Fernando's jonesing like crazy, he wants to talk about it. Yeah. So what do we have first?
So the first one is the MPS 150 limited edition 2-channel amplifier.
So this is the 45th anniversary, which we've had here on the wall, but this one was one of the first that came into the country. So this one is like real.
It was the first.
It was the beta.
Yeah.
So that one stays there.
Yeah. And then we have the MPS 1.1100 limited.
There you go. Oh, Arturo says, I like the ads that Fernando makes. Reminds me of Don Francisco from Salvador.
Gigante.
Yeah.
Yes.
4-inch drivers? Yes. We'll be showing you guys, we had the new hybrids, 4-inch Tegras, which is the coaxial, and then the components, which we were filmed a new way. We haven't got that out to you yet. But we did a new sound demo. We put them in cool little boxes. So you'll see that soon enough. But the real cool sound demo that we want to do this month of October, meaning coming up, is so we have the regular Virtus Nano Carbons, which are these guys here. All right, and this is the Old Faithful. This is the Nano Carbon.
You can see it.
Israeli built. Sexy, yeah. Beautiful speaker.
Right? Yeah. Right there. Beautiful.
Did I call it nano carbon?
You say
I probably did. I'm sorry. This is the regular Virtus speaker.
Virtus speaker, yes.
Yeah, so this is the regular Virtus, sorry.
602s.
602s.
That is correct.
Big voice coil.
But the reason
Sexy Magnet.
you call them is because we have.
Yes, because now what we have is the Virtus Nano Carbons. Okay, so that's these guys. These are the pancake speakers, Frisbees, call them whatever you want. That is which is in the Virtus line. And one of the things I've been wanting to do is take a set of these components and compare them to a set of these components in enclosures in front of us. And because everyone always asks, like, what's the difference between the two? How much do I lose a lot of sound when I go from this to this? What do I gain going here? And I've been dying to build them in enclosures and let everyone like A/B the difference.
Yeah.
So that is the plan. Next month is to order the enclosures in and then put them up, and we'll do some sound demos. I'm sure we'll do one live and get it thrown off of the internet because that's what you do. But that was the plan. That is the plan coming forward.
Yeah, that is the plan.
So it's just really, you guys ask the questions like, what is the difference between this one and that one? And it's like, this one's skinny.
Pretty much.
You okay, man?
Yeah, I'm trying to take the grill off.
Yeah, gravity. Just turn it upside down and shake it.
I tried to shake it.
No, not your butt. Yeah, so there you go. So we are going to demo you the difference between these two. How fun is that? That sounds like fun.
Dude, they monsters.
I like to know as well, right? And so hopefully we'll be able to with the sound demo. So we didn't want to do the sound demo is something new that we really haven't done before, and the first one we've done it with is the Morel 4-inch that we have coming up. We're trying that's going to be kind of how we work out the kinks, so to speak, and see what works, what different microphones, different ideas of how it should be done.
Yeah.
And so you guys you'll get to see that soon enough, and hopefully it'll sound really good and allow you to like put on some headphones and hear the difference between these speakers as opposed to just in a car. And then we'll evolve that segment as it goes on, because obviously we have a ton of different speakers and we want to have some fun with it. Hola.
Hey.
So that is the plan for that, and of course the MPS amplifiers will be going into this guy's car. They're 2 channels, so we do have that one. So what we'll probably do is we'll do dynos, and then we'll build something to where we have all 3 of them going to his car next. Will this be on YouTube or Instagram? This will be on YouTube. So the video that we shot, something long form like that, that needs editing and all that other nonsense, that'll always be on YouTube. And even still, everything ends up on YouTube. Even this show ends up on YouTube. F511 or Stinger High 10 for a new deck on my DSP build. Want Toshlink, but also want to try the title, quality. What you think? Okay, forget the title quality thing. Like,
the quality is gonna be.
Yeah, but
the same.
The quality's the same. Yeah, I was gonna say you're not.
It's gonna be the same. The only title access is you're gonna be able to control it from the radio.
Yeah, but you can do I honestly, I'm with you on that. I don't really. Somebody's gonna have to from Alpine explain to me what the heck the difference is.
To me.
Like what? Because we had title access and CarPlay before. So, I don't, someone's going to have to kind of like go, other than that being a gimmick, like having Pandora support or Spotify support, now we have title support. But we have all that encased inside of CarPlay. So I'm just curious to see what the difference is. And plus also, depending on whether you use an Android phone or an iPhone, so... It'd be interesting. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. We're gonna have to see how that kind of falls out. I mean, I will tell you this. If you're going to do the 2.0 update on any Alpine that supports the new title thing, it is a full OS rewrite, which means if you've got any EQ settings, crossover, if you've got any settings in the radio, audio-wise that you would like or hope that would be there when you're done, take a picture of them because you're going to have to re-enter everything. We found that out the other day when we got done with one of the vehicles we were working on. We EQ'd it, DSP'd it, time aligned it, did everything. Forgot to do the update. I was sitting out in the car showing homework, and I said, oh my gosh, there's a new update for this. Let me go download it. It takes about a half hour to do the update, to download it, and then put it in the car. So once I finally, and you have to do it from a Windows machine. You can't do it from a Mac. It's 100% Windows. And got it done, wiped the radio. So I had to start from scratch again and retune the whole damn thing. So I was not happy because Alpine doesn't post that anywhere as, oh, by the way, because we've never had to do that in the past. Like anytime we do a software update, it remembers everything. Not this time.
Yep.
So poo-poo on you. That sucked. Which tool will do better DSP tuning?
Which tool?
So I'm assuming you mean which RTA is the best. And by having all the features in the world, does that make it the best? Because, like, if you want the most feature-rich RTA, obviously you're going to buy the Max and spend the most amount of money. If you want the most affordable feature set of RTA, then you might just want to buy the Audio Frog mic and tuning kit with the disc and all that fun stuff and just use REW. If you want something that's a bit more, I'm not going to say robust, but like tool-ish, well, then you have the DMRTA that is a physical tool.
His next question was the JL Max or the DMRTA. Which one will do better?
If you understand how to use the Max is a way more advanced RTA.
It has more features.
Yes, it has more features.
Yeah, you would do more things, yes.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the one you want, okay? So we have all of them. You know, we haven't gotten into the Max yet just because we haven't had time to sit down and learn it. Obviously, we've been using the DMRTA since its inception. And before that, we used handhelds, and we've always had some form of RTA in the install bay. We make our own, of course, it's electrical, but it's not acoustical, so that's not going to help you for that.
RTA too.
Yeah. I mean, you can use an iTest mic and do pretty good tuning with that as well. So really the thing that so if you've never used an RTA before in your life, I think just buying the DMRTA is probably the way to go, just so you can kind of get something under your belt. But even that, like, you know, Brian Mitchell, Arc Audio, you know, the guy, he travels with two things. He travels with an iTest mic and the iRTA tool, our tool, and that's his go-to on the road RTA because it does everything. And he's got an iPad. He's got a couple iPads, but that's his go-to road thing because he knows what he's looking at and whatnot. The Max, if you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna get the Max. I'm gonna spend the thousands of dollars to buy it, and because I only want to learn one thing. Then that's the argument for buying the Max. There's no right or wrong answer here. The right or wrong answer is just get an RTA and start playing with it. I think is the answer to the question.
Yeah.
You know, so. You guys get my pack. We did get your package, and we're mailing you back the other one. I think she's going to get it out Tuesday, she said.
Yeah.
Boring Life Podcast.
Podcast, huh?
You know, yeah, that's something that Haley and I have talked about. We do have a Boring Life. Hopefully it's going to come out tomorrow. So if it's not tomorrow, it'll be Monday. So we do have one in the can. I had to edit. It was an audio thing, so we got that squared away. So hopefully, yeah. I mean, as far as like a Dean and Fernando Boring Life podcast, that ain't going to happen, I tell you right now. We ain't got that kind of time. Have you put a 6.5-inch speaker in this SC300 with the 4-inch door pods? And if so, what did you use for fitment? Yes. 1/2-inch PVC Sentra or Paleolite. And
a lot of modifications.
A lot of modifications. Just a lot of working in it. And yeah. But, you know, I'm not saying that they make a really shallow speaker if that's your issue, but Yeah, I mean, if you're
check
looking
it
for
out.
something like more reasonably priced, a pretty shallow, nice sounding speaker, check out some Kicker stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, Morale Italiana joined. What's up? I was told that if left and right speakers play the same frequencies, it throws your sound off. Never heard that before. Can't be true, or can it? Well, if that's true, I've been doing it wrong forever. I'm doing it wrong. I am totally doing it wrong. I mean, trying to think why somebody would say that, but the reality is you want them both to play the same thing so that it'll couple and make it louder.
Yeah.
Also, you want them to sound the same so they don't sound like a jet plane on this side and an airplane little on that side. Now, where that could change is like if you're doing an all-pass filter, but you're still, the levels are still the same. You're just adding a phase shift or a polarity. You're adding a shift at a specific frequency. But even still, the volume is still the same. So, I mean, if you looked at left, you looked at right, there should match. So that sounds like somebody that didn't know what they were talking about. It's either that or I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm doing it wrong all these years.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you really want to know, okay, so two things you can do if you want to know a lot about tuning and just general knowledge. One, Audio Frog University. Andy has a ton of white papers on that are great if you're a reader. If you're not a reader, was it teachable.com?
Educar.
Well, yeah, but you got to go to teachable.com.
Yep.
But it's Educar
Teachable.
at teachable.com. Ken has 3 classes that you could take. They're $20 a piece. They're fabulous. They're get you started, get you going, get you done. They're broken into 3 segments. So it takes you, I would recommend buying all 3 of them. So, because don't jump ahead. Yeah. That's the problem. Most people are, I know what I'm doing. No. Don't jump ahead. Watch the basic one and just go, yeah, I knew that. So that you know that you knew the same thing, because it's always those little things. It's okay for someone to tell you something you've already known. For one, it just reaffirms that you know that you're both on the same page. And then 2, when you talk to the next thing, and you're not like, wait a minute, did I miss something in the beginning?
Or maybe they do something a little bit different,
Yeah.
that is going to get you in the same place, but at least you know and you
But
try.
those 2 guys, as well as those 2 places, are a great resource. One is free, one will cost you, I don't know, $60. Do them both. I'm not, I like reading. To me is like, but I read a lot though, which is humorous, but even still, it's, and if you caught The Boring Life of Dean and Fernando yesterday, I think is when we put that up, you'll see a unicorn in that video.
Unicorn.
There's a unicorn.
Really?
Yeah, because that was the class that both Andy and Ken taught together.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that missed that at Knowledge Fest that year missed out.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
It was so sad. Dean, how many subwoofers can you fit behind the seat of a 1993 F350 quad cab? 4.
4 12s.
4. It's always 4. The answer is always 4. I mean, 4. 4, and then raise the seat and do 4 underneath it. Get 8 shallows.
Okay.
Yeah. That's got the power sliding window, and then you got to move that too. Seems like 22 is the year of Fernando's class. What is Christian's been
Christian is so excited.
I guess so. Mobile Solutions Animal Router Shield. Is it worth it?
Is it worth it getting it? How much do you use it?
All right, it's funny you should say that, because I know that is plastered right now all over, like, everywhere, because they just came out with the small one. And like right here is our animal. So here's our animal here, and this is the other one. This is this one.
Look at this. Look at this.
What do you do?
This is the animal.
Oh,
right
yeah.
An animal, man.
So I like the new one is designed a lot different than this. So this is cool because this is a shield, and this is really nice. Anytime you put your fingers near something that spins like this, you run the risk of doing something stupid like this. So from safety's sake, it's awesome. But what I like about the new animal, and I'm going to get one just because I have this guy here, and I hate how small it is because this is the bit that did this. And I don't want to use... Oh, it froze. Seriously? Da 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 da. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Instagram hates us. So the reason... What I was saying is I want to get the new one because this is the bit, the roundover bit, which destroyed my finger and ruined my day. And I don't like this form factor. Like, to me, this form factor, it sucks. It's heavy on top. So the new micro animal, if the hurricane doesn't come and ruin our plans for this week or next week, I will be coming home with one of those in my suitcase. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm pretty excited about the new one.
Yeah.
I thought that was a microphone. So where did that come from? I put a camera and wired the power to accessory and a Sony radio, and camera randomly comes on and car is not in reverse.
So
the only way that would happen is if Sony has some form of automatic trigger, and or you have the car itself has some form of bad reverse trigger. That's where you would want to look. It sounds like to me that, believe it or not, depending on the car that it is, maybe the reverse lights are coming on by accident and the radio is going to reflect that because there's nothing. So the only thing that can cause the camera to come on is if Sony has some kind of camera sense, which means it would be on all the time. I've never heard of that, so we're going to rule that one out. So that means it has to be the other thing, which is there could be some form of short in the car to where the lights in the back are coming on for no reason, and that will trigger the radio. What you could probably do to fix that is put a relay on there, because the relay is going to take a little bit more power and it's not going to, at that you'll also hear the clicking to tell you that's what it is. Or you could put a delay timer on there to where once it sees the power and then it counts to 3 and then it turns on. So you could use some kind of a timer to fix that as well. But
I just check with my multimeter just to see what it is.
Right, but if it's just coming on randomly, it could be a loose wire in the bump. I mean, you could drive around with it with the multimeter hooked up to it.
Just to see what it does.
I mean, if you want to take the easy way.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's what you want to look at.
Morel Hi-Fi Italia.
Bravo. So what we're going to do, Italia, is we've always wanted to do this. We're going to take the Virtus, which I know we're saying that wrong, so work with me on this. We're going to take the Virtus, and we're going to put we've always wanted to take these components and these components, put them side by side, and hear the difference. Because everyone always asks, how do these sound compared to these? Because these sound amazing, and they're that. So we're going to find out. That's this month's plan
And if you want pizza, you can get some pizza.
And if you want a pizza, yes.
Two
personal pans. 2 personal pan pizzas. So that is the plan. Of course, then we have the new amplifiers.
Yeah.
From all of the labs of Nando's car, which one has been your favorite?
The one that I have right now, and as soon as we change it, that's going to be the favorite. It's just, man, all the equipments have been amazing. So it's really hard to actually say this one.
It was the PBR 404.
The PBR 404. That was actually good.
Hold on, it froze.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Why does it keep freezing? Oh, we're back. Yeah.
You missed it. Yeah, it froze, and I told you which one was. So bye.
Thoughts on Appeasant Rise and what you suggest to people? Honestly, I don't have any thoughts on that. I got to be honest with that. That has never crossed my mind. Sorry. I don't have a thought on that one. What was this animal router shield? Okay, we got that one. Wow, it's weird how sometimes it like does that. Hey,
some people
type it twice. Hey, I have a question for you. Yeah. Can you please answer for me?
Of course. What's your question?
So that's Megatron,
Megatron, Mega Black. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
418's behind the seat. If you cut, okay.
Let's go.
Whatever. Oscar. Jacksonville, Florida, in the house.
Yeah, that's what I said.
1993, Dean. Hey, man. Listen, just because I worked on that truck when it was new, back off.
Okay, so I have a 2012 Ram 1500 quad cab with a blow-through.
Nice.
4DD audio 9915 ESP supercharged. Anyways, I have a wood roof, but to enter Super Street new class, I can have wood in the front or B-pillars so only.
Wow.
I'm confused.
Well, it sounds like an SPL question.
It sounds like an SPL.
I gotta be honest with you. Not the guy to answer the SPL question. I wish I could, but this sounds like a Drew question. You know.
A Drew?
Drew. Yeah, Drew.
Okay.
You know, bass, Drew. You know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Over bass overhauling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just don't know, man. I don't really build those kind of cars, so I'm not even gonna guess. Sorry, I wish I had more. Dynamat, will that lower my decibel putting Dynamat in front of B-pillar on my roof?
Alright, so put in Dynamat and all over the place.
Anytime you can make... Okay, so...
Well, Mel actually talk about that when we have them on the show.
Yes, he put tons and tons of roadkill in his car.
Yep.
To apply, let's say, just some basic thought to what sound treatment's intended purpose is that if the car is moving, then two sound waves being created could cause cancellation. The more rigid something is, the more pressure that can be created. I mean, that's why guys are putting 1.5-inch thick windshields in their car. They're putting brace poles in it. They're doing everything to keep the car as rigid as possible. If putting 3 or 4 layers of Dynamat will help make the car more rigid, then yes, it is totally worth doing. And that's kind of the answer to that question that makes the most sense in my head. But there again, like I said, I'm not an SPL expert. The stuff we do is more mainstream kind of things. So, like that question would very rarely come up in our lives. Thank God.
Oh, it's Car Audio Chris.
Oh, is it Car Audio Chris?
It's Car Audio Chris in here.
Who cares? Who cares about Car Audio Chris? Oh, hi Chris. How are you?
¿Qué pasa, amigo?
10,000 watt pizza.
Oh, dude. Yes, for sure.
Hey, you know who else you could reach out to?
Yeah.
Mel in Texas. He's an SPL guy. He's a Phantom. But he competes in SPL, and he will talk to you until the cows come home. I don't know what his name is on here. Maybe Chris could put that up because that's Chris and Mel are partners in Texas.
Oh, that kind of partner or something.
But Mel would also be someone you could talk to that would be more than happy to help you with that because he's a world champion, 3-time world champion in all 3 events.
Yes.
So he's kind of my go-to guy when I have questions about SPL stuff. I reach out to him because he does it. Which one is your favorite SQ speaker, Morel or Focal? I don't have. Why you gotta have a favorite? I mean, are we stuck on a desert island where we can only take one speaker with us? I mean, I think it's hard to have. You know, here's the thing. As we know, the one of the truths of life, according to Dean, is if you're not on my team, you suck. Okay, so that means you have to have a favorite. Like, it's this or nothing. Screw that, man. I mean, no. You know, I don't mind variety. I don't mind liking more than one thing. I mean, dude, if you make something incredible, why do I have to not like it because I like something else? I mean, I feel like you should be able to like both. I know that just doesn't make any sense, but it has to make sense because they both make amazing stuff. And it's like, yes, at the end of the day, am I going to have Morel in my car? Yes, I am. But would I have Focal in my car? Yes, I would. I would like to buy, it's like, we have 3 cars, but, as far as like mine, my wife's, and my daughter's, and each one of them has different stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. We had that's the cool thing about Haley's car, and I'll drive it on the weekends because like it had the Focal stuff in there for a while, and that was really fun. Had the kicker stuff in there for a really long time. Now it's got the Morel stuff in it, and it's like, oh, this is fun too. So, and they've all sounded different, and it's just it's fun. It's one of the reasons why we got into audio. Is like if there's only one thing we're ever gonna own, damn, that's kind of boring. Like, part of the reason why I always go, people, why are you pulling this stuff out? Like, there's new stuff out. Why not just go for the new stuff? So it's like, if you have the same stereo for 3 or 4 years, I get it costs money and you put a lot of money into it, but it's 3 or 4 years old. There's way cooler shit out now for you to have.
100%.
Get that. Don't like, I get it. We hang on to our underwear forever. Sometimes you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. Just throw the old stuff away and wear the new stuff. It feels so much better. It's like it rides nice. Anyways.
Okay.
I know. Sorry. I went into a dark place. Should I replace my stock car battery with an excess power battery?
Yeah.
You should always have the most up-to-date battery underneath the hood that you can have. Okay, so the battery is the source of, the alternator in the battery electrical system. So if you've got a 3-year-old battery or a 2-year-old battery, if you got a big stereo, always keep the battery up to date. If you want to go with an excess battery, go for it. It really, just get the best battery you can afford, but keep it monitored. That is your lifeblood for your stereo. So if your battery sucks, your stereo sucks. So
follow that question. He say, where I can find a dual bracket for a 2012 Ram alternator. Dual bracket.
What is it? MechmanAlternators.com? Have you tried that? Mechman? Reach out to him.
Steve Needham.
Well, yeah, but Steve, but he makes those for them.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I like this. Okay, well, that makes sense. So I need a lot of dynamite for my roof. Another question. You know where I could find a dual? Okay, yeah. Try Mechman alternators. Let's see. Stock radio, non-Bose. Can I run JBL 3-ohm speakers? 2014 stock, yeah, you should be okay. That's the reason why they switched to 3-ohm instead of 2-ohm. JBL specifically because the 2-ohm system would the 2-ohm speakers were crashing the radios. That's why they switched up to 3-ohm. It stays within the parameters, so yeah, you should be fine.
Lance.
What's up, Lance? Lance Doss, the boss. No one carries them in Quebec. Damn it.
Wow.
Damn it.
Happy Saturday, guys.
Damn it, Jim.
So, what would you spend most of your money? I'm sorry. Amplifiers over the speakers, or it has to be the same?
Has to be the same. Explain, right? Explain. I'm going to use an analogy outside of car audio, because this is one of the things. Like, I've been buying car audio since I was in high school, and car audio never taught me this lesson. It was something else, because in car audio, there again, it's like a crack addict. You just want it. You never really put the pieces together because you're always like, even like selling stuff to people, I would tell them to buy the best stuff, but I myself would just buy sporadic crap. It wasn't until I got into photography and I bought a camera and I wanted a lens, and I went out and I bought a lens, not really understanding that was the most important thing. Like, you got to get good glass. And then I had bought a small camera, and then I bought a good piece of glass, and it was like, all right, well, now you need a better camera because the lens is better than the camera. So you have this $2,000 lens with this $800 camera, and it's like, you're not getting what you need. So then I was like, all right, so I have to spend $2,000 on a camera and then $2,000 on a lens to get the system that works properly. Or I just have to stay in the wheelhouse. And, like, for example, like when we shoot here, we use Canon M bodies, so the lenses match, the curtains match the drapes, as it were. So, you don't want to go out and buy, let's say, Focal KRX3s and then buy some inexpensive amplifiers to power them. So we'll just say, for example, you don't want to go and buy an auditor amplifier, okay? Like, it's an amplifier, it'll power them, but, you got $1,200 worth of speakers. You really want more than $150 worth of amplifier, because you have to figure there's going to be some loss in resolution there. So, or you don't want to go out and buy $1,200 speakers, $2,000 worth of amplifiers, and then $19 high-level to low-level adapter to integrate it into your dash, or a $350 inexpensive touchscreen. No, it's all bad. So, the best thing to do is go, here's how much money I have, here's what I want to do, and buy like for like. So instead of getting $1,200 speakers, maybe get $500 to $600 speakers. Maybe get $1,000 worth of amplifiers, and then maybe get a $900 radio. So you're still spending $3,000, but you're spending it better. And that's really how you want to do this. That's what makes the most sense. And that's my secret for selling car audio. So if you come see me, know that it's not a secret anymore. Hey guys, listen, we got to go. Today is Saturday, and I don't know, 50 minutes, something like that. 40 minutes. 40 minutes we'll be live on YouTube. We're going to have fun. Stay tuned. Q&A tonight. So if you can't make it, I'm sorry. We'll be up for you to rewatch later. And of course, Monday, we're going to have Lori from Kicker here. I should say we're going to have some new speakers to talk about. Not the sub. Get that out of your head. We're not that cool.
No.
Plus, it won't fit in our suitcase. But we will have some new stuff to talk about. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, you guys go forth, be merry, have a wonderful Saturday. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.